and welcome back to VHSL League of Legends State Finals, presented by Go Army Virginia and hosted by ODU Esports. I love doing that introduction. I am Robbie Bayou Basting, joined by my co-host, my co-caster, whatever you want to call him, for our last cast of the season, and this may be my last cast ever with him, so this is going to be our best cast. I am joined by
Jeremy Purely Iber.
Well, it's great to be casting with you at least one more time, Jeremy. And already we see double support bans out. Now, a Yumi and a Nami ban usually means that you want to take away those hyper carry options. You don't want to be playing against a hyper carry. The Nami is very synonymous with the Lucian right now, so that deters the Lucian pick from coming through. And Yumi, just overall strong champion. On the red side, we see Volibear ban, which is a very standard jungler. You don't want that early game tank jungler coming in. He's very disruptive in the early game, can stop a lot of what this blue side, this Monticello wants to do. And now an Ashe ban. Ashe is a little bit interesting.
Yeah.
Because it's not something we see banned in the first phase. Same with, we don't see ADCs banned much in the first phase. Because if you're saving your ADC pick for the second phase in general, that means you have a counter pick, you have something cooking up. So unless there's something heavily meta, which right now there isn't really a heavy meta ADC, you don't ban ADCs in the first rotation. So it's a lot of, I guess it comes down to scouting and what they're not comfortable playing against.
Well, and of course we did just have that big patch ready for MSI, so definitely a lot of things shaken up. Okay, we were going to see the Zeri ban. Very curious, especially after they just shifted her away from her more tanky build. Now you basically have to build crit on her, and she was already fairly weak early. She's now even weaker. In the early stages of the game. Obviously, the crit build, pretty much one of the slowest builds in the game. Items very expensive, takes a while to come online.
Absolutely.
But yeah, the Ezreal and the Ashe are very interesting. I know we did see a bit of Kate earlier. Kate Morgana was definitely a popular bot lane we were seeing a bit of earlier, so it'd be interesting. It's probably just like you were mentioning, the scouting coming in. Wow.
So, with this Graves Kindred matchup is that Kindred, both of these champions like to duel early, but Kindred is a lot better at it in these very early levels. Graves with items is going to be strong, but Kindred, people underrate how strong like a Kindred level 3 or a Kindred level 5 is.
Yeah.
So that's where this Kindred pick is really coming. I'm not sure about this Graves pick, unless it's a flex. Now this Lulu pickup on the red side is really nice because you already have an ADC, which is not going to be bot lane.
Yeah.
So you have a non-traditional jungle marksman, which the Lulu will be able to do so much with because Lulu loves just working with ADCs.
Yeah.
So a great pickup there on the side of Greenpoint.
Yeah, and I will say something I do like about the Kindred a lot that I think gets overlooked oftentimes, especially in like higher levels of play, is that when you draft Kindred early on, you're not really cornered into making sure that you have a traditional marksman in the bot lane. It definitely opens you up to more flexibility. You can maybe, if you have mages in your wheelhouse, that's something that you can opt to do. It's not typically as normal with the Lulu, but we're seeing a Veigar hover, which is definitely a flex.
I apologize. It's Forest Park versus Monticello.
Yes.
I messed up those names. Well, Cassiopeia would be interesting. It's a lane counterpick to the Lissandra. But Lissandra Misfortune, I'm very happy that we see a Misfortune pick.
Yes.
Because in my opinion, Misfortune is the top 3 ADC of the game right now.
I definitely agree, especially with those nice little buffs that she got recently. And yeah, I think the Cassiopeia, though, is really good because you really should not be picking Lissandra blind. I mean, it is a fairly like safe pick in the mid lane, but it's also punishable. Like,
yeah. I'm very surprised we didn't see an Ahri pick because Ahri is very much determined to be the best mid laner right now and is very easy to play at a lot of skill levels. Now we see Set and Sion bans out. Pretty standard top lane bans. Hard to deal with champions once it comes to later in the game. Early laning phase, most of the champs are very safe. I'm still very worried about this Monteverde draft with going with his Graves B1 priority.
Yeah, so I think
you gotta play into the hard jungle.
Yeah.
And when you're playing against Kindred, both teams are playing very hard in the jungle.
Yeah, so of course recently, I mean, especially over in like eastern regions, we have seen Graves typically go top more than jungle, but he has been making a resurgence with the Dark Harvest build, full lethality in the jungle again because you know you can get online a lot earlier than the more like tanky Graves build. So
fairly sure that this is a lethality Graves player. I think of the games we've seen him play, he goes that Ghostblade first.
Yep.
Now he goes Ghostblade Eclipse, which I think is like it's fine.
Pretty good, yeah.
I don't want to see a Ghostblade Duskblade, or a Ghostblade Shieldbow, or a Ghostblade Galeforce, because I think those are a bit weak. I think you want that Eclipse and you want that LDR as that third item, because you want that arm penetration. Now, Caitlyn Lulu, Kindred. So this red side team comp really wants Monteverde. This Forest Park team comp wants Monteverde to be running into them. But so far, well, actually, that's picking into them.
Okay.
So I'm not sure. Also, a lot of priority on this Rel pick.
Yeah.
Which, I'm going to be honest, in my professional opinion, this champion is not very good.
No, I would tend to agree. I mean, the Wombo, obviously, the potential there with the Misfortune layered over top is very good.
It's the Rel W into Rel Ultimate into Lissandra W into Misfortune E Alt.
Yeah.
The Wombo potential was there, but there's better options to do it.
Yeah.
Alistar would be better here. Nautilus would be better here. Leona would be better here.
Yeah.
Nami's taken away. Nami ult would have been great here. And we see
Oh
Shen
my
Riven in the
goodness.
top lane.
Wow.
This is a very easy to play draft on the side of Monteverde,
Yeah.
but
But it looks like it can be punished pretty hard. Yeah.
I like this Forest Park draft. Besides the Riven,
Yeah.
Ornn's available and they passed on the Ornn.
Hmm.
Because the Ornn with double hyper carry, so you're playing with Kindred and Cassiopeia. Both are hyper carries. Caitlyn, not so much. Caitlyn's more of a siege. ADC, now she is very strong late game, but gets countered a lot by that armor. Kindred E late game is extremely dangerous because that gets up to like 20% missing HP damage, which is insane amounts of damage.
Yeah.
So, but like an Ornn with those ornaments on Cassiopeia and Kindred would be great for Forest Park, but not opting for that. I would give the draft edge to Monteverde, though, because I think it's a lot easier to execute with a Shen Lissandra.
Really?
Yes.
I mean, ease of execution, I would agree, is definitely
Mm-hmm.
Monticello. But
Monticello?
Yeah, Monticello.
It's
okay. It's
I'm
okay.
so lost.
But
I didn't go to high school in this state.
But in terms of just like which draft is better, I mean, I think it's going to be really hard, in my opinion, unless they find like the Miracle Engage for them to fight into it. I mean, you know, they get outranged, they get kited, right? I mean, Lulu and Kindred on the first two picks, and then you draft Rel, Shen. Like, these champs just don't make much sense in terms of, like, how are you ever going to... You're going to have to find something incredibly crafty, I feel like, to be able to lock down a carry and basically blow them up instantly, and you have the Kindred ult to help, you know, prevent that from happening. Yeah, this comp is very much a one and done, and if the Kindred ult, you know, immunes any of those big, you know, combo elements, then I mean, what are you going to do? How are you going to play out the rest of the fight? It just seems like you get kited and you lose.
Yeah, you get a lot of good early game skirmishing from this Monticello composition, which is nice, but the fact that Forest Park's composition legitimately just wants Monticello to run into them, and Monticello drafted that with the Shen and the Rel, it's a little bit of draft suicide.
Yeah.
And that's something Monticello needs to address, as it's going to be a weak point for them in this game. It's going to be very tough for them to play around. There was a lot of other picks they had available on the board, which they just didn't decide to go for.
Yeah.
But
I like that they came in with a game plan. You know what I mean? Like,
Yes.
they obviously knew what they wanted to do in draft from the get-go, and I do like that a lot. But I will say one other thing that we have to point out is that top mid is not winning for Monticello early on. Lissandra is very weak early, and Shen, while has a little bit of skirmishing power early on in the top lane against a Riven Kindred, Graves typically likes to farm, you know, early on. He doesn't go for ganks typically a lot. You know, maybe looks to cover lanes a little bit, but
we could see a Graves can get active around level 4 when he has 2 points in Q. He can get active level 3 if he takes 2 points in Q and skips W. I don't think we're going to see that. Level 4, level 5 are also good. He just wants points in Q. I'm going to be honest. He wants points in Q, and he doesn't want the other jungler to buy quite yet. Now, on first buy, Kindred's so much stronger. So Kindred on Noon Quiver against Graves will beat Graves almost every time.
Yeah.
Because that kite ability, which Kindred has. Kindred's one of the best duelists in the game. Hard to play. If you get behind, then you're doomed, because Kindred is terrible from behind. You only have ultimate. If you don't have damage, you're a short-range marksman who doesn't have damage then. Not much you can do.
Yeah. And I'm not much, again, I always like to say this when I cast League, not much of a top expert, but I'd imagine the Shen into Riven matchup not the best.
So Shen into Riven, it's a bit of a skill matchup. You have a good chance to win it as Shen once you get that first item Mythic, because you should have that Ignite Flash on Shen, and then once you get that Sunfire Aegis versus Gore Drinker, you should have a chance to kill. Earlier in the lane, it's tough, because you have to interrupt Riven Q3
and
not get knocked up by it and taunt her during it and dodge it.
That sounds like quite the skill matchup.
Yeah, it is. And then still be able to Spirit's Refuge. Or is it? No, Spirit's Refuge is ultimate. No, Stand United's ultimate. Spirit's Refuge.
Yeah, you're
Shen
right,
W.
yeah.
Shen W. Rivenadas. It's very tough. I don't expect the Shen to even step up and trade. He's got teleport. Riven is going for the Ignite. So Riven is looking for those kills. The carrying Enter. I like that name.
That is pretty good.
That's a fun
Interesting
name.
sorcery secondary on the Riven, possibly taking something like
Very-
water walking.
It's standard.
Interesting.
You go
okay.
Transcendence and Gathering Storm.
Oh, okay.
If you're under AP matchups, then you go Nullifying Orb and Transcendence.
I have seen a lot of solo queue Rivens like to take the Lucidity boots, especially early on in lane, just because it allows you to combo so much more. Look for, lethal thresholds much quicker.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of the reason why you take Transcendence is that level 5 and level 8 you get 5 ability haste.
Yeah.
Then at level 11 you get the 20% reduction on your basic cooldowns on takedown, which isn't as useful in Riven because you're already stacking ability haste.
Yep.
But just with a couple of items you can get about 40 ability haste on Riven, which is very nice. And I'm not seeing anything else. We do have... Ooh, I'm not sure about that Rel. I don't think Rel should really opt for that Glacial. We will be getting to the game stream very soon, but we're having a little bit of technical issues, so we're just going to be talking here for a little bit more. I'm not too sure. So Rel does have Glacial Augment.
Do not like that.
Like, it's good on Rel as a champion.
Yeah.
In this scenario, I think you want to go Guardian.
Oh, really?
Yes, I think against Kate Lu, because they're going to get poked out.
Sure.
Oh, in theory, they get poked out. It's going to be lethality MF, but pre-6, you can't really do much on... There's not a lot of kill threat indicated.
And that's the other thing that's strange to me is that they have Comet on MF, but they're playing with Rel, right? It was very weak, like, early on. You're not really going to be looking for a ton of fighting down in the spot, because a lot of times, right, something that is especially... One of the reasons why we saw a lot of enchanters recently in the meta, obviously we've sort of rotated, come back around to more engaged style, but a lot of times like you go in with Nautilus or you go in with Rel and you're still losing the trade, early on in these early levels, just because the poke with the Airy, the Scorch from Lulu, it hurts, man, on the return. So
this is why the Rel is so confusing to me, because Rel has very good early game fighting.
Oh.
Yeah, she fights well early because of her passive. She removes resistances.
Sure.
And especially because you get a multi-man W. Now, if you miss the W, yeah, you're just left out to try. But compared to other engaged supports who want to scale better, like Alistar has better scaling options than Rel.
Yeah.
Just because he can't fight level 1. Rel can fight level 1. So going for this Misfortune, they're really just playing for the Rel to scale out of the lane and to get items and to get that level 6.
Yeah. Looks like we're having a bit of technical issues on the Spectator. Looks like we good.
Do. Okay, so we're gonna have a bit of a skip.
30 seconds until minions
It's a
spawn.
little bit interesting. And now we wait a level 1 shenanigans. So what we typically see right now in terms of level 1s is we would see how Monticello is set up, except that the Misfortune moves up to the river position where the Rel is.
Yeah.
And actually no, I apologize. The Lissandra moves up to where Graves was, and then the Graves goes to where the Rel was. And then Misfortune stands in Tri-Brush, and Rel goes and wards the middle bottom lane brush. That's the professional strategy.
Right.
I don't expect that to see it here. You'll see it in a lot of mid to high elo gameplay right now. It usually is very good at stopping the level 1 shenanigans, which is why they left, Forest Park left a ward in that bot bush. So they saw the Rel and the Misfortune sneak in.
Yeah.
So this Rel and Misfortune, they know that they're here. Well, they know they're in one of these 2 bushes.
Yeah.
Very importantly. So there could be a level 2 Kindred gank, which I think is what they should do.
Yep. I definitely expect to see that. And also, I was a little bit interested to see some of these first items as well being picked up, these starting items. A little bit confused. I mean, I expected the tier from the Misfortune just with Comet and everything. Okay, maybe they didn't see it actually. Lulu gonna get engaged.
Oh, there's the Kindred here, though. There is Exhaust already down onto the Misfortune. Heal you still has Flash. Flash is now gone. He's going to focus this Rel. Rel has Flash, but he's going to be saving it. I don't think she could have gotten out anyway. She was dismounted with that, I think, 190 movement speed, 200.
Yeah,
so
very
she
slow.
could not have really gotten out. But unfortunately, well, fortunately for Monticello, he went to the Lulu,
Yeah.
which is the last person you want the kill to be on there. And already we see a return gank on the opposite side. Nothing coming out.
Very early Flash.
Very early.
Yeah.
Flash. Nothing left to chase down. That Shen taunt was used. There was no Graves W available. So not too sure about that. flash by the Riven, but it did keep them safe at least.
Yeah.
They will not take any more damage.
Yeah, and I was just going to say earlier, you know, I was expecting to see the tier out of Misfortune with this Kami, typically going E first, just liking to poke out early on in this lane. And, you know, hopefully we'll see early boots out of the Rel. Maybe look to try and get active on the map, because this really is just going to be a farming lane early on for Misfortune. You have, in my opinion anyways, very little dueling power when you go Comet, when you go tier. You're not going to be looking to fight early, especially if she's going, you know, it kind of depends on the build path that she chooses to go as well. Some Misfortunes, you know, they're going to build like Eclipse and then finish their Manamune after the tier stack. Some of them go straight. I've seen some go Manamune first, even before it's completely stacked, because obviously you get the, I mean, it's not as common, but it does occasionally happen, so we'll have to see what you outscore. But
I do hope the Misfortune goes for Eclipse first.
Yeah.
It gives you a lot more damage than just straight up
sustain as
stacking
well.
arm on it. Yep. I do hope the Sorrel gets Lucid Boots very early. Ooh, the Riven does find the Graves here, but yeah. Graves a little bit misplayed that. Could have walked a little bit more to the wall, but I guess wanted to save himself a little bit of HP. So that is completely respectable. Flash traded for Ignite. And yeah, very greedy out from that Graves there. Shen now has that significant CS lead in top lane, which is nice, but no other CS leads really. Actually, no, sorry, Cassiopeia in mid has a very large CS lead. And talking about starting items, going for this tier, 72 stacks already. That champion stats is so fast.
Yeah.
Cassiopeia is almost always using ability on this way.
Yep. Especially, of course, when you get the kill with her E on the minion. Refunds mana cooldown, so going to be farming. That's one of the nice things about her as well. You don't have to opt to take attack speed like a lot of mages choose to do in the mid lane, just to help with their farming, especially if they get pushed under tower, because you're farming.
Yeah,
you can just take
like a
double
0.8 second cooldown anyway.
Yep, and you can take double adaptive power, get some really nice trading. Does take a turret shot there though, so actually I think maybe losing out in
It's
the
taken
end.
multiple turret shots now.
Yeah. Probably looking to try and push him back low on mana as well.
And Monticello stepping up, has their Graves nearby. So a little bit too telegraphed. Also was spotted on the ward. And now we see already out from the Shen. We see a Bramble Vest.
Very early Bramble Vest buy. I know you're happy to see that. Already building better than some of our collegiate teams.
I'm smiling already. It is effective against 3 members on Force. It was effective against Cassiopeia. Well, not against Cassiopeia, sorry. Against Kindred and Riven.
Yeah. It will eventually be effective against Cassiopeia, because she does, of course, when it changes to Seraph, with the item rework, it does heal now.
Now, there is actually another item that Shen could have gone instead of Bramble Vest, which would have been fun. Which he should finish as his first item and not go Mythic first. Do you have any ideas? It's a tank item.
Played Steel Cap?
No. It's built all the time now. It's 2,500. Where is that Frozen Heart? I would love to see a Frozen Heart here. It is so high value. If anyone picks it up on the side of Monticello, it will be so good, because that is 2 high attack speed champions, and Riven also relies on auto attack resets.
And here's one of the reasons, Rob, why I was not super critical.
We have a gank in the middle lane. Lissandra ult already out, but Cassiopeia stuns the Lissandra, so we'll be able to potentially kill the Lissandra. Will she burn?
Yeah, she is.
With the last tick of Cassiopeia Q poison, that kills. Amazing outplay by the Cassiopeia.
Wow, and on that first back as well, picked up the Dark Seal, so that's going to be 2 early stacks on that Dark Seal as well. Really nice from the Cassiopeia.
Yeah,
it even has a 12 CS lead as well, so really ahead in this mid lane. And I was going to say, one of the reasons why I really, am a fan of this Lissandra, I know this is still a bit of a sleeper build, but I actually do think you can do the tank rise build on Lissandra. Functions very similarly, has a lot of ways to proc the shield with her CC. You can go Everfrost into Fimbulwinter, into Coldheart on this champ, and it is still good. Primarily your job is an engager anyways. Like, you're not doing a ton of damage as this champ, even if you build a lot of AP, so I kind of like it, honestly.
So the reason you don't really see that as much is because Lissandra's consistent CC is W.
Right.
Because that's the only way you can proc Fimble without ulting.
Sure.
Because Ryze can do it much more easily, because all he has to EW, and Ryze has built-in movement speed buffs anyway.
Sure.
So Ryze can kite out, he can run up, EW, get a shield, and run away. Lissandra can't really do that. She's got to E in, and she's got to commit. She can't really uncommit.
Sure, but I mean,
all she can really do is stall for 5 seconds with
Right.
ultimate in Zonia. So that build would help, but I would much rather just see a full damage, go in, do your damage, survive, be a nuisance, and then after you die, if your teammates killed it with it in 3 seconds, you get your passive thralls. You get those frozen zombies, which slow and do damage.
That is true. But you also, even off assists get those. So the longer you stay alive in a fight, you don't have to get a kill. So as long as you get an assist, or yeah, actually you don't even need
it's within 3 seconds.
within 3 seconds of
I think
that might be the case.
it may be in proximity.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it has something to do with
And
proximity.
Riven using Flash to escape. Shen did go Flash to Flash. This Fortune may die here. Kindred's over the wall. Didn't think was able to get the Q over the wall, but this is going to be a little bit of a rundown here. Rel not opting to run to the tier 2 turret, so they're going to look for a dive.
Caitlyn taking 2 turret shots for no reason. I think a bit of miscommunication.
Kindred does
there.
have ultimate, but that Rel's going to go in if they do start the dive.
Yeah.
So good choice just not to go. And Misfortune, level 5. You said level 6 soon to stop the dive, because if not, they're going to get dove. Okay, they're backing off to the next turret. There we go. That's the smart play. They just back off to their tier 2 and let Kindred burn time as Graves get stuff on top side.
Yeah. I think that's smart. This Kindred, this Riven. Oh, we see the engage though.
Rel ult, great stuff by them. And the Caitlyn flashing out of the way gets ulted and also
loses.
ignited. I think didn't really optimize that out attack speed.
Yeah.
Also could have trapped the Misfortune ultimate, but opted not to.
Yeah, a bit of a delay as well after they flashed out of the ultimate to start hitting, and that's going to cost him.
Yep. That is very unfortunate for running 90 on that Caitlyn. But that's that Rel Misfortune combo coming into what we expect to see, really. That's why they picked it, is to run that combo, and really shouldn't have gotten a kill, but it did.
Yeah.
Now we have a 1,500 gold lead for your high school. And that Riven just absolutely decimated. That's the power of Lissandra there.
Yeah.
That just point and click CC. Riven can do nothing, gets rooted into that ultimate, and Graves is right there with the damage. Graves is basically no items.
Yeah, just the dirt, and it's gonna be enough.
He's gonna have a significant buy onto this back now.
Yeah.
Let's see what he gets.
He's gonna be able to complete the Yumas.
Full ghost play.
Yeah.
And a red trinket. Not red trinket. Red ward. He's got the rift here. This Fortune stepping up to get a little bit of a trade here, not quite going in her favor, and this mid lane has got to be the way to win for Forest Park.
Yeah, I think it's definitely where they have the biggest advantage right now. Riven is up a decent amount of CS. Wave being pushed into her right now, so I believe that's a stacked wave as well, so should, again, extend her lead to about 20 CS or so.
Yep, double stack wave.
Yep. So, and she should have no problem picking up the majority of this. Does have to be a little bit careful fighting into all those casters, but...
Yep, those double armor items up for the Shen, very tough for Riven to do much against. Still would love to see a Frozen Heart out here. It's effective against Riven, it's effective against Kindred, it's effective against Caitlyn, and it's such a cheap item too. It's 2,500 gold.
Yeah.
It is so cheap.
20 ability haste as well on it. Very nice.
Now, unfortunately, we do have mana as a wasted stat, but it's worth it.
Yeah.
Because you get that cold steel, and you get that auto attack. And we do see this Kindred play down bottom again. Kindred does have ultimate if they want to dive. Is going to get Rel ulted. Misfortune has her own ultimate if they're looking for a trade back, but no cooldowns available on the side of Monticello. Used up just to prevent that Kindred from really moving in. Misfortune should just ult this wave, honestly. Should just ultimate this wave. Ooh, they want to make a play with Lissandra. Lissandra is here.
She's coming in. Flash
W. There's the Kindred ultimate to stop it. But are they going to be able to heal enough and do enough damage? It doesn't look like that as Monticello gets 2, trying to chase down this third Kindred. The Rel running in there with the W, not going to get it. Misfortune maybe. Nope, not arranged to get that E, so great stuff. There's also Shen ultimate there. I think Shen ultimate to save the Lissandra. So there we see, that's that global play.
Yeah.
And not quite sure why Forest Park disrespected the Lissandra so much.
Nice dodge from the Riven there. Almost got taunted under the turret. That could have been a disaster.
Yeah, Riven now with that proxy will be... just gets a free proxy off.
Yeah.
Now what Shen should do is he wants to let that wave come in under turret and just let the turret prep all the minions for him. I mean, Riven does want the turret plates, so that's what she wants, but it's the easiest way to last it without tanking all the wave.
Yeah.
Now we still have this gold lead 4-4 Spark despite they just lost 3 people. So Monticello may have a little bit of priority here, but actually a late reset will take that away. They do have that Eclipse on the Misfortune, so if they realize that this Dragon is going on, they'll be able to make a play, but this Graves. His Graves is going for the long con, as he is sitting in bottom alk.
Yeah.
That is
And I actually don't.
a bit insane.
Yeah, but I actually don't hate the play because I think they know that they're gonna try and push this wave out to get Prio before they move for Dragon, right? The Kindred is bot side. They're gonna look to try and gank this bot lane and move to Dragon. Okay, he is just gonna drop Rift.
A drag did just fall.
Oh, it did just fall.
4 Spark took it.
Oh,
because
okay.
Monticello took too long to reset their bot lane.
Oh, okay, I completely missed that.
Yeah, it happens. Real good. And the Shen's gonna go straight into Mythic now. Frozen Frostbite gone.
Yeah.
No Frozen Heart. I'm sad. I'm crying.
Maybe eventually. Maybe eventually. We'll see.
Monticello's making me cry. I'm sad. Besides that, builds are pretty normal. We just do see the 4-stack Darkseid Lysandra. This Cassiopeia is amazingly strong, though.
Except, I do have a bit of a problem. This looks like a Luden's Tempest, or possibly a Leandri. No. Leandri's builds out of the Tome, Amplifying Tome. That's not
That
gonna be
Lulu
enough.
ultimate almost saved it, but that Lysandra Q came right through. Great Misfortune ultimate, too.
Yeah.
Just on that angle, forcing the Kindred to walk through it.
I actually think she might have had the angle to Q over the pit to get out possibly there instead of queuing trying to get through the
Yeah,
through the tri-rush.
there's potentially
Possible.
that angle, but when it's not able to find it.
Yeah. Ooh, nice Q2 or well second proc of the Q lands onto the Caitlyn. Getting poked out here by the Misfortune. That's just the power, especially once she has this Eclipse finished. Incredibly strong. Even with the, I actually didn't see,
That
but I
is
doubt it's
the
an
Luden's
Emax.
build.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of Luden's on. I think that's probably the last item that I would build on
So,
Lysandra. But
if Lysandra's taking Ingenious Hunter,
yeah,
which I would suspect she does, I do like it. Because it's 6-second cooldown. You should be able to proc it multiple times when you do engage on someone. The Mythic passive is mainly why you would be building it. Because you want that magic penetration, and you get magic penetration on the item buy.
yeah,
It would be better if it's paired with Ingenious Hunter, which we could definitely expect to see. Lysandra does have the domination tree, and it's either ultimate or Ingenious. She doesn't want Trender. She could use Relentless, but not to maximum efficiency. But the biggest thing is that she's down 45 farm.
yeah.
This Cassiopeia is almost going to have the Archangel staff. Now, that doesn't mean Cassiopeia will start doing damage all of a sudden, because it takes her a long time to do that. But Cassiopeia is going to be able to skirmish. She will have a lot of single target damage. Well, let's put it that way. And oh no. Oh no.
We see a blunder.
We see.
Oh my goodness! In the
we
top
see our first blunder of the series, our first Robbie Bobby blunder. We see a Thornmail completed and a great Lysandra engaged. That E over the wall, Blue almost getting out, but that Graves last shotgun hit will come through. Caitlyn now getting run down by this Misfortune. That will be her death eventually. No help needed, and there's the Lysandra Ghoul. It's proximity based.
Yeah, and I might be eating my words here because honestly, this Luden's maybe not the first item that I would pick on this Lysandra, but it's getting the burst that they need to clean up these kills very quickly, especially on these bot lane plays that they're going for. So.
Very concerned about this bot lane for 4 Spark.
Yeah.
They seem to be very unaware of where Monticello is.
And Caitlyn is already, like you were mentioning, one of those champs that typically doesn't, as the game goes on, longer and longer, is a bit of a lane bully. Can be powerful later, but definitely gets countered by armor. And when she's behind, almost a useless champion. Does not do very much at all in fights.
Ooh, Kindred going for that face check, does have that self ultimate. Is going to need a Lulu shield and ooh, that Graves ultimate coming in and securing that kill. Misfortune, I think, was almost able to secure it too, but that Graves ultimate really put the cherry on top.
Yeah.
But so how Caitlyn works in terms of power is it's a swoop. It's a U.
Yeah.
It's not a sharp U, but when she's even or behind, she's powerful early. She drops off in the middle of the game when she's on 2 items. When she doesn't have that LDR and Infinity Edge, so if she's going like RFC second or Phantom Dancer, and she doesn't have Infinity Edge and LDR, then she sort of does drop off for a while, and then she goes back up around 5 items.
Yeah.
So she's got that lull in the middle where she's at 2-3 items. She's not very strong. She has to have her crit headshots to basically kill anyone. So she works in that fashion. And now Lissandra has that Archangel's complete. 2 stacks. Oh, sorry, Cassiopeia has that Archangel. It's not Lissandra.
Yeah.
That's a scary Cassiopeia.
Yeah, very strong.
Especially if Cassiopeia can pick up any of those bounties. 300 gold bounty on the Graves, 150 on Lissandra, 150 on Misfortune, 150 on the Realm. You know, I think we're going to see a team fight here. Already forcing out the Graves Flash, and this Riven's going to act as an engage. Amazing! 4-man stun out of the side of the Riven. Cassiopeia over the wall gets 2, but finds the kill onto the Rel. Now trying to get this Shen kill as he ulted in, but gets the flash out and will survive with just his life. This Cassiopeia, so powerful. Amazing flash ultimate over the wall, though. I think it only got the stun onto 2, but hit 4 members. So still 50% slow on 4 members.
Yeah.
But amazing Riven W to initiate. A great flash Riven W, get the multi-man stun.
Yeah.
An amazing fight by Forest Spark there.
And honestly, like you're mentioning, the Cassiopeia ultimate don't always have to land the stun, right? Like having that slow allows you to follow up so well with your Q.
Although Sandra looking for the counter engage, not finding an ultimate target. Misfortune ult is whiffing on the Riven. The Riven will fall, unfortunate with that last Graves auto. Lissandra going for the self-ult, very interesting. Kindred onto the side here does not have ultimate, so can't really go for any of these aggressive plays. Also only has the Kraken Slayer, so not much able to do there.
Same with the Graves as well. Had we saw him use that ultimate to secure that kill on the Kindred earlier, not quite. His ultimate not quite back up yet, so weren't really able to chase there. They almost overstayed, you know, almost got caught with their hand in the cookie jar.
Died.
Yeah.
And I gotta come back to it now. He's avoided it for too long. It's a Thornmail on the Shen.
Yeah.
Don't build Thornmail until you have to.
Yeah.
The only difference, you get 60% Grievous when you taunt someone, but you have to CC them.
Yeah.
Besides that, the base stats are not worth it, so he should have just gone Mythic after Bramble Vest. I'm not sure why he opted in, because you have to spend, I think, another 1,600 gold.
Yeah.
Or, I don't even know the cost of Thornmail. I think it's 2,600 total, so another 1,800 gold. For his stats, he doesn't really utilize to the maximum, and there's not too much healing. So I would have preferred, if he just wanted to go in and survive, then he could have just gone for a Locket. There's a good point that you want to say, hey, the Cassiopeia won't be auto-attacking him, and you want to buy Grievous to the Cassiopeia.
Yeah.
Well, that's a good point, but then someone else should be buying it.
Yeah.
Lissandra loves to buy Grievous, because Lissandra benefits from those items compared to other mages, because she gets a lot of her damage from base values, and not a lot. She doesn't scale well anyway.
Yeah.
So she's fine not buying a lot. And a little bit of a skirmisher. Kindred already half HP by that Graves Q and Graves ultimate, and the taunt catches the Riven, but Riven is going to be saved by this Kindred ultimate for a little bit. Misfortune ult over the top, so unfortunate timing with that Riven already such low HP. And the Cassiopeia is in on top of the Lissandra. Lissandra is forced to self-ult, but Cassiopeia is just CC'd the whole entire time. And that's going to be Monticello. Yeah, that's a Baron for Monticello. It was a very big overstay by Forest Park.
Yeah. You don't have to worry about this Kindred ultimate either to do anything wonky. Rel over the wall.
Kindred ultimate is down.
Yeah, and Rel over the wall as well, spotting for any possible steals. It should just be a pretty free Baron. Even the E from his fortune as well to zone a little bit. It should be pretty free.
Yeah.
Caitlyn,
look like a little bit of pings here just to sort of force this Rel. Rel will fall here. Maybe we'll take the Caitlyn with her. Yeah. Great stuff out the side of Monticello, getting that extra kill, trading the support, but it is a support, it's fine.
Oh yeah, completely
Lucidity boots picked up by the Rel.
Very interesting.
It's the correct thing, because you want flash as fast as possible.
Sure.
So you want to take Cosmic Insight and Lucidity boots. Wait, does he want to be able to flash ultimate? Because W ultimate is a little bit slow and it's a little bit short range.
Yeah.
So Rel engage is all based off of flash, which is probably why she's not played much right now.
Yeah.
And now Shen is opting into an Aegis of the Legion. Well,
that could be for Sunfire, right?
Yeah.
Most likely is what he's building.
Typically, if you're going, I would not go Sunfire here because it's so expensive at this point.
Yeah.
And you're already pigeonholed yourself in your build by going Thornmail first.
Yeah.
Now the Riven, very intelligently, is going Black Cleaver here. So she can split push against this Shen well.
Yep.
And she gets extra build haste, extra movement speed, and extra damage inside these team fights. Now, Death Stance probably would have been more optimized, but Black Cleaver helps her split push a lot.
Yeah, and it looks like Lissandra also going for the Zanya second.
Yeah, very standard on
What
Lissandra.
it looks like, yeah.
We would expect to see a Horizon Focus picked up after.
Not a fan of that item, but
I know you're not.
Yeah, that might be what we see if we're looking like a pretty standard build here.
One of the big things we have to talk about is, in 58 seconds, is this Dragon Soul from
Very
Forest
fast
Park.
soul.
Yeah, they've really had a good prioritization on these dragons. And
Which is interesting because we've seen a lot of good plays come out from Monticello in the bot lane, but usually after these dragons have already been taken, just a little bit too slow to the punch.
yeah, a little bit of wonky reset timings.
Yeah.
we've seen from the side of Monticello. Really overstaying. I mean, all you need to do is crash those waves and reset. Turret plates aren't really. Turret plates are a bit overrated.
Yeah.
They're not as worth it as you think they are. I would much rather have a dragon than an extra turret plate.
And something that is a little bit interesting, obviously now that Monticello was able to secure the Baron, and they did walk into clear vision, but then walked out, and they might just face check this, not expecting the stack.
There's
Okay.
the sweeper find.
Oh, this is looking good. It's a
Aurelius
4v3
forcing
here.
the Lulu flash out here. Lulu almost dies from that Graves ultimate. But unfortunately, for Monticello, that Lulu will survive.
Yeah, but they might just choose not to fight this with the Lulu
They
solo
should choose
HP.
to just let it go.
Yeah, look at the Riven in top lane, pushing in very hard.
This is the winning lane for Forest Park. It's,
Yeah.
it's their path to victory is through this Riven pick now.
Yeah. Although it is pretty hard to split against the Shen with the Baron minions up, assisting and making it more difficult for her to push.
Yeah, as soon as that Baron buff drops, so that Shen,
Yeah.
Shen's got to be very careful because he could just be killed.
And and that's kind of one of the other issues too with this build from him with the Thornmail, like you were mentioning, is because he spent so much money on that. Doesn't even really have can't even really afford a team out here to try and help clear waves a little bit more effective against the Riven. Because right now it's so hard at this point in the game, like you were mentioning, to stop the Riven from just pushing. We're gonna see the Kindred caught out a little bit here, forcing the ultimate. Great rel ultimate over the top to catch her. Graves does drop low, but he should be just fine here. And he is 5-0-4 right now, looking very good. I mean, Forest Park with the kill advantage by far, but Gold's still pretty even. Forest Park only up about 2. They were able to secure that last dragon to stall out the soul for another 5 minutes.
The biggest thing is the turrets. It's 4 turrets versus none. And that's why this Gold is still staying within reasonable distance. But I don't...
Well, they do have the tier 1 bot and mid turret for Forest Park.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. There's not a clear path to victory for Forest Park at this point. You gotta sort of say, hey, it's the Cassiopeia, but Cassiopeia's not gonna have damage for a while still. She's on 3 items, going to 4. Riven, good combo over the wall, and Lissandra used Flash there. So I mean, Riven did also have to use Flash. It's Flash for Flash, so at least it's not wasting a Flash.
Yeah.
So good stuff out of the Riven there. Actually, really clean combo to escape there. I'm not gonna lie. Good use of abilities. And there's another blunder we see, as we see the Kindred for Forest Park going for Collector second in this game. Which, I mean, there's a good debate for it.
Sure.
Especially this game against these low HP, but LDR is going to be better in this scenario.
Yeah, I think
Because
especially
you're playing against an armor stack Shen. Lissandra's going to have armor. Rail has armor. It's only really Misfortune and Graves, and you shouldn't be able to hit either of them, because Graves is going to one-shot you and MF wants to ult. And now Kindred harassing from the back here has the Cassiopeia and the Lulu. Ooh, the Rail ultimate.
That shield!
That was a massive Shen ultimate coming out from the side of Monticello. Also, we got to talk about one of the most infuriating abilities to play against. That Cassiopeia was stuck in Graves W.
Yeah.
Yep, Graves W into that Rail ultimate. You cannot see it coming. Graves W, it's such a small ability.
Yeah.
But
Very
it's so
powerful.
powerful. It's a near sight. You can't see anything outside of... When you're stuck inside Graves W, you can't see anything outside of that circle.
Riven's got to be a little careful.
This is going to be a mid-inhibitor. If anyone else dies from Park Forest, then this is going to be a game. But nope, just going for that inhibitor and reset. Very intelligent play by Monticello. Don't want to overstay. And now
Baron's gonna be up. They can look to try and clear vision on the side or set up vision on the side of the jungle.
they should
Actually,
go for
they
a
might
reset.
Yeah,
Yes.
Got to reset for.
They have a ton of gold here.
Yep.
Lissandra gets to upgrade her Magi's, her Duxer to Magi's. Nope, that's a NLR. Please sell the NR. Nope, she walked out of base. Okay. So, in that scenario, you want to upgrade to Dark Seal Magis. You have a 10-star Dark Seal,
Yep.
get a Magis. It's just worth it.
Yeah,
You'll get more.
especially like we were mentioning, Lysandra doesn't scale super well, and with this Zanya's second as well, like I think the Magi.
She scales well. She just builds utility AP items as
Right.
opposed to raw AP.
Well, but here's the thing. I mean, if you're building utility, I feel like you probably should just go Everfrost here, not Ludens. You know what I mean? The Ludens.
Yeah, there's a good point.
The Ludens is great,
Or,
but you don't have a lot of follow.
You can go Oleanders.
Like you were mentioning, just the W really, other than her ultimate, and a lot of times she likes to use her ultimate defensively. So, you know.
I mean, she still has enough damage to kill Kindred or Caitlyn this game, but mostly
Yeah.
because those champions are behind.
Yeah.
She's mostly just an ultimate bot for the most part. But, well, you play for ultimate and you play for passive. Because the passive zombies is a lot of her damage.
Yeah. And they are so annoying.
And
too.
Riven looking for a picker, going over the wall, not able to find anyone quite yet. Lysandra very early self-ultimates here.
Yeah.
So this is a good chance for Forest Park to make a play somewhere else. And it looks like there's going to be a little bit of a run down here, joining up with the Cassiopeia.
They could have actually killed the Lysandra there. Trap from Caitlyn came down very late on
Yep.
that essential.
And now
essentially stop.
Monticello is finding this whole entire 5-stack of Forest Park, and they're setting up for a 3v5. This is crazy. They do the Shen ultimate, though. And I'm not sure about the Caitlyn trap line on that location, because, yeah, should have just saved the traps or used them where they saw Monticello.
I thought that should have. I felt like that looked like a good
There's the
opportunity.
Dragon Soul over for the side of Forest Park. Now Kindred is dealing with the Shen here. Cassiopeia only hits one. And now Cassiopeia is hitting this Misfortune for free, but gets the Shen ultimate. Kindred ultimate is delaying this MF combo from killing. Kindred gets one at the end. There's still going to be some fighting here. Lysandra wants to go back in, but is getting spaced away by this Kindred.
Beautiful.
Kindred is taking her down to such low HP. She could have potentially just traded her life for that one. But now that Riven is backing, and great stuff out of Forest Park. They get the dragon, they get a kill, and they get out.
Yeah, and here's something that we have to talk about. I know this is such a hard play to make, or to call once you're in game, but I honestly think once you no longer have control of that bot side river, you don't have vision there. You know, it's been cleared out. You can't really walk in, especially against the Cass and against the against the Riven and the Kindred's aggressive positioning. I think you honestly just trade Soul for Baron. I think it's Forest Park. I know it's a hard, but it's a Cloud Soul. It's a Cloud Soul. And it's not, the worst thing to give over. If you don't have any vision, you don't want to have to walk in. I think that's a call that you might make.
We should talk about Cloud Soul.
Yeah.
Because it's good on some members of Forest Park.
Sure.
And not so many others.
Yeah.
It's not good on Caitlyn.
No.
It doesn't really do much unless you're ulting to then running down someone. Because you can't ult someone and then run away. Because you're making yourself stationary for 1.25 seconds. Riven ult, it's amazing. It's great on Riven. Riven loves Cloud Soul because she ults and she gets a burst of movement speed. Kindred, it's not the best on Kindred because it's a set space you're operating in. Cassiopeia does like it a lot, though. Because she gets to ult and then she gets to kite a lot. Lulu also can use it well, but it's a little bit more situational. But more importantly, the most underrated reason for why you take Dragon, to get the Elder to spawn. Because Elder is the single strongest buff in the game. There's nothing else stronger than an Elder. No single Dragon, no Dragon Soul, not Baron, not Herald. It's Elder. Elder is the most influential thing on the single map in League of Legends right now. So they really need to influence it. The only thing potentially stronger would have been Chemtex.
Yeah.
But that doesn't exist anymore.
I like that Forest Park is calling this bluff from
This is good
Monticello.
call by Forest Park to push mid while still positioning for Baron. Now they do need to protect their team here, make sure there's no flanks. Riven is chasing off this Lysandra as best as they can. Now Riven did pick up that Death Stance. Great. Great. You need that Death Stance. It's such a broken item. And now Kindred opting for the Infinity Edge Third. Very good by her. Caitlyn should do the same. Builds so far have been good besides that. Actually, Graves has Grudge, but Grudge is fine on Graves here.
Yeah.
Because Graves is playing to Q ult, and that's all.
Yeah. Well, and throw those procs on all abilities, right? So you can even...
And Misfortune ult missing several, but big Cassiopeia ult is getting saved by the Kindred now. Little ult on the other side, though. Rel is going into this Kindred ultimate and getting a two-man stun. Rel needs to fall now. Kindred will die from the double tap, but the Riven is still alive. It is Riven versus the world now. Oh, that Cassiopeia survived. I don't know how she did. She was getting run down by Lysandra passive.
Yeah.
That is a massive, great job by the Riven. The Riven just stayed alive. That's all she needed to do, and she did it very well.
Yeah, and I mean, that's like I was mentioning, man, the kiting from this cat, especially now that she has the Rylai's, right? It's so hard.
She's got the Rylai, she got the slows, and she also has that that ultimate.
And they can easily do Baron here with the Cassiopeia damage, and she even has the sustain as well from the Saracen Brace, so not gonna have to worry about dying to Baron.
You're gonna get your Frozen Heart too, by the way.
Nice. Not on the Lysandra, I'm not.
No, not on Lysandra. It's gonna be on the Cassiopeia.
Oh, yeah, with the armor?
If not, it's gonna be Randy's.
No, it's gonna be Frozen Heart. She just completed
Frozen
it.
Heart, yeah. Which makes sense for Cassiopeia.
Yeah, I mean, it's fine.
So she gets an extra ability haste.
Yeah.
With the Saracen. Unfortunately, she doesn't get extra AP, which she would have with the old Saracen Brace.
Yeah.
Rest in peace. We love that item. It's so much better than the one we have now. Please revert it, Riot. We don't want ability haste as mages. Smile.
Yeah, but it's not. I mean, it's not bad here in this spot, right? Like Misfortune and Graves both with lethality items. So.
I wouldn't say it's this, but it is very up there.
Yeah.
It is very good against that lethality users. Now I hope Shen builds it, and I hope Shen does not get random ones. Because random ones is also good for Shen.
Well, it's definitely randoms because he has a Kindle gem.
Oh, yeah, okay. Well, I mean, that's fine.
Yeah.
At least he's building a cold steel item.
Yep.
Now, we should have done Frozen Heart earlier to win the lane, but, you know, it's water under the bridge. Just, ooh, Riven.
So dangerous.
Guardian Angel. So dangerous here.
Yeah.
Would love to see a Shirelda's Grudge out of her next. That would very much help her. She gets that extra slow. She gets more damage. Yomu's Ghostblade or Edge of Night could also be a good option if she wants tankiness. Don't really see it, but understandable. Riven not in range to W that with Sandra, and now Forest Pork is in the driver's seat. Down 10 kills, but up 3k gold. And they're going to be prepping for this Elder. Elder is up in 30 seconds. Unfortunately, the game may have been spoiled for us, but, you know, we won't spoil it for you guys.
Walking in, they almost catch
my
the
god,
Kindred,
that
just
Graves damage.
Last second.
1 HP. Kindred will not be able to get that heal from the ultimate. Jumps out right before it, and Riven going in gets Lysandra ulted, popped into the GA. Cassiopeia is not able to get into the fight yet. This is a bad fight for the side of Forest Park, and Riven failed over the wall. Misfortune flashed over. Now just the Cassiopeia going in 1 versus 3. This Caitlyn's trying to do damage, but it's very tough. The Cassiopeia getting shredded by that Graves. That Graves is so massive. And now it's a 3 versus 1 now. This Caitlyn is the last alive for Forest Park, and this is going to be the Elder Dragon for Monticello.
Yeah, that was a great fight to take, and definitely an overstay in the red side jungle from Forest Park. You saw Kindred getting caught a little bit there. Somehow able to... Oh, last second, great ult from the Graves.
That cooldown so low.
Yeah, it is, at once, especially at this point in the game. Very low cooldown.
Yep.
And hits like a truck as well at this
Oh,
point, especially on the members like Caitlyn and Kindred.
Yeah, it's going to half HP, if not
Yeah,
more.
basically. Yeah.
At this point, yeah. So much armor penetration. Just ignoring a significant part about it. At least 41% of the armor is being ignored because that's the maximum armor penetration percentage. And it's got Shirelda's Grudge and Eclipse with at least 2 items, so it's that already.
And yeah, so
I know
now
these numbers too much, I'm not going to lie.
now Monticello poised in a good position here to try and end out this game with the Elder. No Baron up for them to take, but I mean they can just push it down mid lane. I expect to see a bit of a Nayram here. Obviously, even with
Misfortune bought an Elixir of Iron. Very smart buy from her. She wants to just stay alive. All she wants to do is look for a good ultimate. Her autos don't do the most, but just auto queuing will do enough damage. She doesn't want to consistently auto, because she's not crit. But her ultimate will do so much damage it will shred anyone on the side of Forest Park, because she is 9-1-13. One of the probably the best stat line we have in the game right now. And that Shen has really done his job well. He's done
oh my, that damage from Graves.
Is that just Q ultimate?
I think so, yeah. Just 100 to 0 is the Kindred.
Wow. And that Kindred, no Kindred ultimate now. And when you're playing against Elder buff and you have a Kindred, Elder buff is so weak against Kindred ultimate.
Yeah. And here's the thing, too. The range from Forest Park, other than the Caitlyn, very low. They can't really step up to clear the wave. And especially with the Graves W to prevent them from, you know, even getting in range at all.
Cassiopeia sold a Frozen Heart.
They're looking for the end here.
Is Cassiopeia trying to play? Ooh, the good taunt flash. And Cassiopeia getting Lulu ulted, and then Zoni is very interesting. Goes for the ultimate, but one shot by the Graves. This Graves is so strong right now.
Yeah.
And this is just going to be the end for Monticello. Yeah, getting that ult kill on Caitlyn. Oh my god, this Graves is just Thanos snapping people like that.
And that's it. That's game 1.
Yeah.
Over to Monticello.
That will be game 1 of our best of 3.
Best of 3, yeah.
So already great stuff out of Monticello. A little bit sketchy early on because Forest Park led the game in gold for a significant portion, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
And like I said, the draft did look better for the side of Monticello.
Yeah. But I think definitely the highlight of that game was they played the weak side top very well with the Shen. Yes, he went down in farm early pretty significantly, but it
was to be expected.
And most importantly, he didn't die. And the counter plays in bot from the Graves, with the bot, that bot lane was just superior. Pretty much every fight that they took.
The biggest thing is that early game Lissandra movement was very vital, and without that Lissandra staying that active early, they definitely would have lost the game. Because they would not have gotten the significant lead. Graves didn't do anything early game.
Yeah, he didn't.
Graves just farmed, and Lissandra was able to make enough action on the map that it didn't matter that Graves was farming the whole entire time.
And we saw how strong he was at the end there. Even against the Cassiopeia, who had, 200 plus armor, Frozen Heart and Zonya's. Yeah. And still just absolutely blew her up out of the Lulu ult with the Zonyas.
But, I mean, that's absolutely great stuff we see out of Monticello. Forest Park need to go back to the drawing board. I think a little bit of macro choices there and a little bit of bot lane help they will need. So we're going to take a short break, and we're going to be right back with Game 2. And welcome back to VHSL, sponsored by Go Army VA, and
Legends State Finals.
Presented by ODU Esports in the Monarch Esports Arena in the Web Center. And now we have swapped sides. So we have Monticello on the red side and your alma mater,
Forest Park High School.
Forest Park High School on the blue side. Do you have any Forest Park?
Not that I know.
Anything to say for them?
Well, I honestly expect to see some adaptations in the draft. We already see the Graves go in the first phase of the bans, which I was completely expecting with how, incredibly strong it looked. But I honestly don't even think it was necessarily, it was a problem for sure, but I think it was because of the way they played. They allowed for it to scale up, like I said.
Ooh, there's a Lissandra ban.
And the Lissandra as well. Wow, so just, completely switching up. We're going to see very different drafts. But Monticello actually sticking to the same first 3 that they had in that first game, so... Feeling confident, going to steal away the Misfortune.
I like this. I think Misfortune is definitely worth that priority. And so I think this is a very smart pickup by the side of Forest Park.
Yeah, I agree. I think it is definitely a good takeaway here, especially with how strong it looked. Obviously they were playing around Misfortune a lot. A lot of their engages and things were... and also some great utilization of the ultimate. Wow, the Kog'Maw response immediately.
I saw them opt in this as a Misfortune counter pick.
Yeah.
It's not the best. It's better to go for Ashe or Ziggs.
Sure.
But it's a fine answer because Kog'Maw can outrange Misfortune for the whole entire game.
Here's the only reason I'm not a huge fan of this. I expect to see something like a Lulu with this Cog, but locks in the Vex. I would have expected
that should be a Lulu
support.
pick.
Yeah.
You just go Cog Lulu here, but Diana, I hope that's not Diana mid, because we saw Diana mid earlier, and I hope it's not that again. I should be Diana jungle.
I can't imagine that's good into Vex with how her, fear works, right? Isn't she good into champs that have dashes? Like, that's how Vex works, kind of?
Yeah, she is.
Yeah, so that doesn't really make a whole lot
She does lose the all-in, though.
Yeah.
Vex does hard to lose all-in against... Diana does have double dash.
Yeah.
So that's why it is better into Vex.
Sure.
And Misfortune Pantheon.
I actually don't think...
Just pick Lulu.
This could be a Pantheon flex, but I don't think this is going to be a support Pantheon.
It shouldn't be anything besides support Pantheon.
Yeah, but we saw it top earlier, so it might be top Pantheon. And we're going to see Poppy, okay? That's very strange. I think that's a top Poppy or jungle, not a support. But it is, we are seeing some flexes here, because it could still be, the Pantheon, the Poppy could definitely still go into a couple different roles. The same with the Diana, right? Like, obviously, we saw mid earlier, but normally it is a jungle pick. I'm a little bit, one of the things I was going to talk about the Kog'Maw, I'm not a huge fan of it because, like I said, normally we see it paired with enchanters like the Lulu, maybe even something like a Karma to really harass early, but I would have preferred to see a champ where you can pick Leona. Look, we see the Leona actually banned for the side of Monticello. Leona's great in a Misfortune. You just R to cancel the ultimate from safe distance, and we see an Alistar ban.
I am absolutely perplexed.
Yeah, very different look at draft here.
Why is there an Alistar ban when you see? Why is there a Rel pick with a Kog'Maw?
Well, and actually, it is pretty interesting to see the Alistar ban because Alistar, in the early days when Rel first came out, typically seen as or not as an answer, but a bit of a neutralizer in the Rel lane.
Alistar was a good counter to Rel.
Yeah.
But neither of them should be picked with a Kog'Maw. Neither of them should be picked. This should not be happening right now. Kog'Maw should 100% have an Enchanter.
I like this.
And Seraphine is really good here. Seraphine is amazing into this team composition. Great pick. Go with Ornn now. Please pick Ornn. Pick Ornn. I don't care where the Pantheon is. Diana jungle, Seraphine mid, Pantheon support, Ornn top. Please pick Ornn. Ornn wins you the game. Ornn wins you the game.
I think, unfortunately, I'm still expecting this Pantheon to go top, so...
Please don't pick Pantheon top. Please make it Ornn.
I think we're looking at a jungle here for this final pick. But
really
I think the reason why we're delaying... Oh, no. Okay, so the Pantheon is support, right? Or is it mid Pantheon?
I honestly have no clue.
Yeah.
Because it's either Seraphine mid. So the question mark is Seraphine.
Yeah.
So because Seraphine can only be support or mid here.
Sure.
So if she's support, that means it's going to be Pantheon mid. Because Pantheon jungle is more troll. I mean, it could also depend on this last pick here. So Fiora into Malphite, just go Frozen Heart first on Malphite here. Don't even go Bramblevest. Actually, you can go Bramblevest, but Frozen Heart first is the best here into Fiora. But she wants that auto attacks. And also it's good against Diana. Pantheon is for it.
Right.
Frozen Heart's amazing here. You also get the mana benefit for Malphite. He also builds Fimbulwinter too, so...
Yeah, so I guess it looks like it is going to be the Pantheon mid. I was expecting the Seraphine to go support. My main thing was, obviously we weren't expecting, ever the Pantheon to go jungle. He's very bad in the jungle now since they changed the ratios for him, but...
So, the thing is that this Monticello comp is winning in every lane except for bottom.
Yeah.
Vex beats Pantheon, Poppy beats Diana, Malphite beats Fiora. Absolutely pigeonholed themselves on the blue side. Point Park pigeonholed themselves to the maximum. None of these champions have synergy at all. Diana, Pantheon, Fiora don't really do anything together.
Yeah.
Diana, Misfortune, Diana, Seraphine have synergies. Misfortune, Seraphine have synergy, but Pantheon and Fiora are absolutely random picks. No reason to pick them. Not a lot of synergy. Fiora does get help on the side lane, so you want to play for that side split push? Okay, cool. But then you have a 3-man ult combination, which you're only going to use. Then you're going to have a split push in Fiora? Yeah, it's weird.
Well, and something that I'm still not understanding about Forest Park's draft is why they picked Pantheon so early, right? They blinded...
There's almost no priority on this champion because they're not strong.
Exactly. Why not go Seraphine third, right? Because you can still flex it mid or support. It's still a good, a good option here, and it pairs very well with the Misfortune. And then save your mid pick after you see the Vex locked in, right? Or I guess the Vex was already picked, but
Vex was picked after the Diana.
Yeah, so actually they did already see.
Yeah, we saw Misfortune and then Diana and then Pantheon, which is just
maybe just a bit of a comfort option here for the mid laner for Forest Park. We'll have to see if it works out for them.
I hope it's comfort, because if not, this is trolling to the max. But let's not give Monticello anything off, because I hope this is a Rel one trick. I really do.
Well, and here is the thing.
Because Kog'Maw Rel seems miserable for Kog'Maw.
Yeah, here is the thing about this mid matchup, right? Is if this Pantheon gets some support from the Diana as well, obviously W stun into the, is great setup for the Diana. That's something that we have seen, especially in top lane as well. That was popular for a little while, was like the whole Renekton Diana thing. And even though Renekton is a terrible champion, the reason why he was picked is to set up for the Diana the easy access. And so if we do see this Pantheon get ahead and the Vex behind, Vex already very much a burst damage dealer, so you really only have the Kog'Maw. This team comp for Monticello, not a ton of damage.
Okay, so the problem is that Pantheon W is interruptible.
It is, yeah.
So you can Vex W the Pantheon W.
Yeah, that is a problem.
So you can completely stop that combination from happening.
Yeah, so they're going to have to look to try and get that cooldown out before they go for anything, and if the Vex plays it well, not going to be too many opportunities to gank her, so... Yeah,
it's a bit interesting, their decision making here on the side of Forest Park. I really hope they figure something out in game. Their saving grace is that the fact that if we have a bot lane 2v2 and the Rel engages onto the Misfortune in Seraphine, then the Rell's going to get Seraphine ulted, and that hopefully hits the Kog'Maw, then they're both stuck in a Misfortune ultimate.
Yeah.
That's the combination they're looking for. And in that scenario, this bot lane is hard winning for Forest Park. Now, I don't think the execution may or may not be there. Not sure. But that's their ideal scenario. So hoping for them that happens. This Poppy's just a weird pick. I saw them playing it earlier in jungle too in one of their earlier matches. Shouldn't really be played in the jungle. She did get some nice buffs.
Yeah.
Poppy, I think, got W and ultimate buffs. So W cooldown, W moon speed, ultimate damage, ultimate distance, and ultimate stun duration.
Yeah.
So good changes. Still not a champion you want to pick though. There's better tanks. There's better gankers. It's a good counter pick, but not against the champions they're playing because Poppy still. I mean, she beats Diana early. Don't get me wrong.
I'm a big fan of Poppy jungle. I think it is turbo broken and very underrepresented right now, especially with the current champs that are pretty meta in the jungle. So
if this champion doesn't get ahead,
yeah,
they just don't really do much. They do Divine Sunder with Dark Harvest. So
I think you absolutely build Chem Tank here. I don't think you ever go Divine Sunder on Poppy in this game. Unless you're really worried about not having enough damage. I think Chem Tank is much better on Poppy here.
I don't think I've ever seen a tank jungle jungle Poppy go Chem Tank.
Oh, okay.
Because it's not something I usually see.
I thought it was pretty strong. I've seen it a few times. I've actually played it myself.
A Divine Sunder is the standard. Now, the difference between us when we play Poppy is that you build Chem Tank, and I build Duskblade.
Oh, yeah, but you also probably play Poppy in the top lane.
No, I play Poppy ADC if I play Poppy.
I see.
Don't ask why. Besides that, we don't see anything weird for starting items.
Yeah.
The only adaptation, which actually no, that would not have helped. I was gonna say Vex could have gone Airy, Time Warp, Tonic, and really just auto poked out Pantheon, but Vex wins the lane anyway, so she doesn't really need that auto poke. So Electrocute is fine here. Corrupting Pot is nice on both of them. Even though Pantheon probably could have opted into a Doran Shield, but I think he wants the mana regeneration, which is very fair though. Other things we see.
PTA on the Fiora.
I was about to say it. I love this. I love this adaptation. It is great. You get that extra exposed damage, 12% extra damage. Once you proc it, you go Stride Breaker too, typically.
Okay.
So you can fast proc it because you get that attack speed. I think it's really good. I don't think it's good in this game, but I think it's really good. You're playing against 3 tanks, so you want Conqueror.
Yeah.
So you're playing against Malphite, Poppy, Rel. You sort of want Conqueror to sustain in teamfights.
And Malphite, not really a lane that you're going to successfully bully early.
You typically take it into Bruisers.
Yeah, right.
Because it helps you short trade against Bruisers. You know what? I love it. Not this game. Malphite does win this matchup, though.
Yeah.
Top lane, pretty hard. This is one of Fiora's worst matchups, is the Malphite lane. Basically, Fiora goes in and gets attack speed slowed, and then Malphite has the range advantage with Qs. It's hard to predict Malphite ultimate when it's short range, so the riposte is tough, and it's just really hard to kill Malphite as Fiora once you're getting slowed and attack speed slowed. So it's a good pick here. Not the best, but still very good. Good short trade by the Pantheon. Vex didn't have the fear up, but still gives a good trade back with that EQ and corrupting autos.
And actually, I don't think the Pantheon pressed his corrupting pot until after the trade. So that's a bit of a...
5 cookies. We
lots
love the cookies. Everyone loves to eat. They're munching away this game. Nom nom nom, getting those cookies. For non-league players, there's a rune which gives you a consumable item, 3 of them, every 2 minutes at minutes 2, 4, and 6, which you restore a percentage of your missing HP and mana. Or I think it's a maximum. I think it's 5% max HP and mana. Kog'Maw does barely survive, stepping up with the level 1 against level 2, so a little bit scary. But for reference, the Spicier rune is pretty much useless after the 6 minutes.
It does permanently increase your mana by 50 as well, which is something that's a little nice on champions that are a bit more mana hungry early on. But
I honestly thought they removed that, but still it doesn't really matter. It doesn't give much. There's better options.
Yeah.
But it gives you more safety inside of the lane. It's a safety blanket, but you shouldn't need it.
Yeah.
So, but we got to talk about, Rel going in for that flash W. Poppy's a little bit too far. Poppy may have to flash. Yep, good flash E into the Misfortune. Nice. Great stuff out of her.
Gold goes to the Kog'Maw as well. It's huge.
Yep. And now what they got to do is either leave that wave or push it in. And they're going to decide to leave it. And this Malphite getting traded into... Ooh. Malphite did opt into the Dorn Shield. Not something you really do go because you need that mana regeneration. And he's out of mana, which is a little bit strange because the only time you want to use your mana is you want to queue for Manifold stacks, Manifold Band. Malphite takes Manifold Band. You get 25 mana back once you proc it. It's available every, I think, 30 seconds. And once you stack it 8 times, you get percent max mana regen.
Yeah.
So
I think it's 3%.
yeah, every 5 seconds.
Yep.
And so it's a lot of regeneration for a champion like Malphite. And typically when you're playing in these lanes, you only queue when you have it up.
Yeah.
Because it gives you mana back, not full cost mana, because your full cost I think is 70, so it gives you back 25. So you still lose 45 mana, but getting that rune all the way stacked up is so important.
Yeah. It's also just another great reason to build Frozen Heart. Get
Yeah.
that 400 mana for Malphite. I mean,
Malphite is very
so much
mana
value.
hungry. Also, you don't want to build HP is the big thing on Malphite. You want to stack armor against Fiora, because Fiora is a max HP true damage champion. So
Fiora
yeah,
walking
looking
the
for a
wrong
gank
way
here. Good, but it was going for the dodge on the Poppy. Does riposte that Poppy E. Doesn't get the stun back because I'm not sure why there was no stun. Maybe just because of the miss.
Yeah, that did look like a bit of an unfortunate error there from Monticello. I think they should have definitely had that kill on the Fiora, like with the way she was walking.
They could have just dropped a warden at that bush because Poppy had Trinket up.
Yep. That's 2 trinkets actually.
Oh, wow, yeah, that is a stacked
So,
trinket.
And she is going Divine Sunder, so we are going to see the more standard builds. And yeah. Oh, we're going to see a flash in the mid lane. Pantheon immediately popping his E.
Maybe a kill. Nope, Poppy did not. Poppy could have gone for like an EQ there. Didn't want to.
I think they saw the Seraphine on the back of that play. Didn't want to overcommit for the kill.
Very heads up. This Kog'Maw now is up a whole lot of gold. So very nice for them, but they got to keep that lead. They got to push it, expand it. You know, you can't just be sitting on this 9 CS lead. That's not a lot.
Well, something I was going to mention that we actually, I mean, we didn't necessarily miss, just didn't mention it on the stream, was actually that gank, the first blood that we saw in the bot lane was the result of a 2v2 that burned Flash. I was actually, I didn't mention it because I didn't realize it was Flash that was burned because they have summoner spells in opposite slots on the bot lane, so I thought that it was Exhaust that was burned, but it was Flash, and so then they called the Poppy for a gank because they knew the Misfortune was Flashless, so great play. For Monticello to pick up that first blood.
Yeah, that Misfortune had flashed for the Kog'Maw kill, but the Kog'Maw got out at the level 2 mark. And Malphite going for early Bramble Vest, very smart there, very intelligent, good pickup. Pure going for Iron Spike Whip. It's fine. It's good. It's just building straight in Mythic. Merc Treads is usually what you want to opt for because you reduce that E time, that auto attack speed swell, also that Q duration you reduce, and also the ultimate. No, you don't reduce ultimate knockup. You reduce Q duration swell and E duration with those Merc Treads. You could have also opted for Cull or Tear if you were going Wormmon or Fimbulwinter, but this is the safe buy on Fiora. Everything else is pretty normal, I would say, for buys. Vex really loves the Stark Seal. Oh, wait, never mind. I lied. Ooh, good. Trying to get that sliding riposte, but just barely misses it, and it takes a lot of minion damage for it. Malphite should definitely step up to trade now. There is no riposte available. And you have a Bramble Vest, so just step up to trade. You can ult away if she ults you. And then you just win in HP.
Oh, actually going in
for the
with the
aggressive
Malphite
ultimate. Ooh, good flash away. Will escape the Poppy E. And we do have a little bit of an interesting build here by the side of this Pantheon.
Yeah, Sheen. What? Is it going to be a Divine Sunder or Pantheon? It's got to be, right? There's no way it's a Trinity Force. You think it's there's no way it's an Essence Reaver?
No way it's Essence Reaver.
No way it's Essence Reaver.
If it's Essence Reaver...
That would be...
If we have Essence Reaver Eclipse Pantheon... that would be insane.
It's not out of the realm of possibility, but that would be...
It's really not. He also has a tier now.
He does, yeah.
So I'm very concerned.
Yeah, I have actually seen quite a bit, unfortunately, of Pantheon's take.
Oh, here's the Pantheon ultimate going down. Now we do have a Malphite TP, I think, to match. No, it was a Vex TP. And Vex, helping that one kill, you just give it to the Kog'Maw passive. Vex gets the kill. That is fine. You get those extra Dark Seal stacks. And Vex going... I think she missed it. Yeah, no, she missed it. Yeah. good active play by... Ooh. Trying to get the Misfortune ultimate kill, but not enough damage on the MF. Only that longsword available, so that Vex will walk out by just using that W shield. Forest Park was looking for a good play there, just didn't execute it very well. Because that Diana's just not enough items yet. I'm not sure how she's behind in farm, too. This Poppy's been a lot more active, and she's very far behind. And this Fiora is very clean on the mechanics. When she's good at CSing. Teamfight's not too sure, but like the CSing looks really nice. I'm not gonna lie. It's kind of satisfying to watch. Diana double camping a lot, and well, Divine Center or Poppy.
I mean, that's, you know, as soon as we saw the Sheen, I don't think we were expecting anything else.
Also, don't worry, we still cannot tell what Pantheon's building. Still be Essence Reaver or Divine Center.
Yeah, it could be.
I
would imagine it's Divine Sunder. I don't think you'd see Essence Reaver and Murmana. That wouldn't make a whole lot of sense to me. So I do expect to see the Divine Sunder.
We got a very standard Vex build, happily.
Yep.
We're going to see that Everfrost come out from her. Besides that, just we're going to see Shield Bell and the Kog'Maw. I think it looks all normal to me. I don't see any weird builds besides the Pantheon.
Yep.
Actually, Fiora's going Gore Drinker, which is fine. Usually don't go with pressed attack, but I mean, it's understandable. Malphite's picking up this early tier here, just going for a very standard build, and Vex
currently fighting for some vision.
That ultimate just came off of cooldown. If she had it up, then the Seraphine definitely would have been dead.
Well, I think a little bit nervous because they don't have vision, like too much vision. They're looking for a play on the bot side. They know their team can't move.
Good play on the MF here. The MF's just dead.
This is right before Dragon 2. Perfect.
Good flash by Rel. Rel would have died to the short there, but gets that perfect flash timing out right before that next shot even started to register. And now Poppy does have this Herald too.
Oh, so it looks like they might go for this turret instead of just immediately moving up for the Dragon. I actually don't mind, as long as this Herald still has some time on it, I don't mind them just going for the Dragon.
This is a good trade for Malphite. I'm not sure why he's running. He should just hit her. It's a press the attack Fiora. She's procced it already. She doesn't have Conqueror. Just keep hitting her. And now you're coming down for the Seraphine kill. Diana is here, but gets a big ultimate here. Finds one, but the Kog'Maw and Poppy damage does so much. And I'm not sure what's happening on top lane because Malphite is winning these fights and is running away for no reason.
Well, I think the Fiora ult came out, so yeah, the damage is a little scary. He's gonna have to flash. He's definitely dead here. Yeah, I don't know why he walked back in while the ult was still up.
He walked back in as ult was fading.
Yeah.
But he walked too aggressively at that point. Because you need to walk and you need to Q, and then once you Q's into you need to E. And that didn't really happen because I think he missed the E. I think he used it on minion. So not really too sure what's up with that Malphite. Is also down 50 farm for... I mean, should only really be down 20 farm in this lane. But it's understandable. This Fiora is very good. Very skilled player. Is almost farming 10 CS per minute. Or 115 at 12. Amazing CS numbers there by carrying Enter. I think this is one of their best champions. Ooh.
Flash from Seraphine.
Israel has found really good fight angles so far in this match. And forcing, I think, the third or fourth flash out this game. And now that's... I mean, Seraphine didn't use the flash before when she died. I think it may have been still on cooldown. So, a little bit interesting. Now we have the Herald, which won't kill the turret.
And see, I don't understand this, man. Like, why?
Poppy's going to get soloed for this, by the way.
Yeah, why are they dropping the Herald now? It's not even going to really transfer into any pressure over towards this Dragon. Vex going for a back. She is just coming back off of her back. Oh, Diana spotted. He's going to go on her. This is bad for that Diana. The team can collapse. Oh, no, okay.
Good blast coming away.
Yep.
Vex is the strongest in the lobby right now, so...
Yeah, no flashes up for the for any of the members.
There's 3 mythics completed by the side of Dark Forest. Sorry, no, Monticello.
Yeah.
And they don't get the dragon. What? And now that's... Okay, well, that's the combination we've been looking for. There's that Seraphine and Misfortune ultimate combination. Gets a double kill. Very clean. Nice execution. Misfortune's back in the game. After that dragon was sort of blown, Poppy was... Everyone was on the bot side for...
Yeah, that...
For Monticello, and Park Forest sort of just got it for free.
Yeah, and that seems like a bit of a blunder in terms of macro there for Monticello, right? They have the Herald, they had they got that pick, and the Dragon was up. They got the pick, they could have immediately transferred over, or they could have committed to the tower. Instead, they choose to do nothing. They wait for the Vex to get back off for reset, and they turn it into nothing. They drop the Herald, only the Poppy gets the gold, no local gold goes over, and it's just a disaster.
I gotta disagree.
Really?
It's not a bit of a blunder. It's a massive blunder. It's they gave up position on Dragon. They gave up Dragon, and then they gave up 2 kills.
Yeah.
Preventing one of those would have been a whole lot better. A good trade out here. This Pantheon's building Divine Sunderer, so Vex is going to have... Yeah, Vex should have just got the solo kill here. Great comboing by them. Just 2 more autos, but ooh, gets that that passive auto off because of that Pantheon using dashes. So great stuff out of that Vex there, getting that solo kill, as she should have, because that Divine Sunderer Pantheon is...
And well, it doesn't even have the Divine Thunder yet.
No, but he's building it.
Yeah.
I mean, he's down 30 farms, so
Vex
it's going to be a bit delayed. Yeah.
What I was mentioning. Much stronger right now. And this is sort of what I was saying. I mean, this Pantheon is going to be very useless if he does not get super fed early. I mean, I don't know. I haven't seen Divine Sunder in the Muramana pretty much ever on Pantheon, but it does not look good so far.
I'm not sure if it's even more mana. Could be Fumble.
Yeah, I guess it could be, hypothetically.
Yeah. We could have also just picked up the tier for the lane. Pantheon is very mana hungry.
Sure.
So we could have just picked it up for the lane. It's very plausible because of how he really wants to just spam those abilities.
Yeah.
Everything else seems pretty standard in terms of builds. Now gold lead is actually pretty even. Because of that turret plates. So remember, before 14 minutes, all turrets have plates. And what a plate is, it's about every 1,000 HP on the 5,000 HP turrets is another 160. Now, there are about 2 turret plates, and that turret died in the bot lane for Monticello, but I think full plates in top. And I think most of the plates in mid, too. So that's a lot of gold back for the side of Monticello. I don't think... Park Forest. There we go. Fiora getting that top turret is going to now actually give them the gold lead by about 1,000.
Yep.
And it's all on the back of this Fiora up 70 farm at 16 minutes. Perfect CS so far. And, ooh, the Poppy Flash over the wall. There's a really good Seraphine ultimate just to peel for their ADC. And now Fiora's going to TP into this fight. This is going to be a 5 versus 4 right now. And, ooh, already 1 kill off to the start. Pantheon E is stuck in the middle of the team fight. Will die, gets solo Malphite ulted and Vex ultimate. And Fiora's trying to get into this Kog'Maw, looking for the kill, needs that last passive proc, will find it now stuck in between the Poppy and the Malphite, but kills the Poppy and will survive. Great team fighting out of Park Forest there. Off the back of this bad Fiora. And Fiora's going to look for another kill. Diana will find the Malphite here. Fiora pulling that turret aggro will not find the kill, but Diana will. And that's going to be, should be a tier 3 turret for this side of Park Forest.
Yeah, the second Herald's going to do some great damage.
Yeah, Herald gets another charge.
Yeah.
They should not take inhibitor at all. They can take the turret and leave.
Just gonna let
The minions may actually take the turret for them. But
I mean, I don't hate this. I think this is fine. You get a quicker reset off. Allows you to get back on the map. I don't think you have to take the turret there. You know, the gold is negligible with your entire team, and it's not like, you know, you're going to be sieging anytime soon. So I think it's fine to leave the turret low. So
have to go on a rant here.
Okay.
I was a bit fine with the Shen going Thornmail last game.
Okay.
You know, I'm like, okay, you know, if you're going to Alton and then taunt someone, you're with Sandra's targeting and giving them Grievous Wounds, okay, it makes sense. In no world does Thornmail first on Malphite. It makes sense. You can proc Thornmail.
Yeah.
The Thornmail part of it. So Bramble Vest is when you get hit, you give your attacker Grievous Wounds.
Yep.
The Thornmail part of that effect is that when you immobilize an enemy, you give them Grievous Wounds.
Yep.
You can only do that with Malphite Ultimate, which is on at least a minute cooldown, approximately.
It completely changes the Grievous Wounds? Like, it doesn't still
No,
do the passive?
it
or?
still has that passive where you,
But
if
it's
you get
only
hit,
the 60% if you immobilize.
yes,
Right.
or maybe 60% below a certain amount of HP. But the
No, I think
reason
that's right.
reason you finish the item is because when you immobilize, you apply it. He hasn't finished it yet. I really hope he does.
I think it's going to
Now
be
we have a Dragon 5v5, but that Fiora is going to be matched by the Vex. Very interesting. This Fiora does have 2 items, no MR except for that Null Magic Mantle, which is negligible. against that.
And Vex
Source
has
boost.
TP to this fight if they need.
Yeah, Fiora doesn't actually have TP, so Fiora is actually going. If we get camera on the base, Fiora is just messing around there. And ooh, actually, we do see an engage. Good combo onto the Diana, not able to get the ultimate. Misfortune ult, a little bit misplaced, not used with the Seraphine ultimate. Great Seraphine ultimate, does hit 4, but not a lot of damage left over, as it's only the Seraphine left. Misfortune will fall, flashing away, trying to survive here. Just no body left to do damage. That Pantheon sort of just got melted, but Fiora, oh my god, that Fiora damage is insane. Going to kill that Vex, and that's going to be top turret for the Fiora. No one actually has HP bars on the side of Monticello to back, but Fiora's out of mana. Luckily for Monticello. So she's only going to get this turret, and then she has to go back.
Yep. A lot of gold, though, in the Fiora's pocket right now, and she's getting scarily strong. We are going to see, finally, Malphite complete his first item in 19 minutes.
Why are you going Thornmail on Malphite? It makes zero... For anyone who plays top lane, anyone who plays Malphite at home, look, this player, they're learning. This is a learning experience.
Sure.
We're in high school. You can't really scout your players. You know, it's a learning experience, and it's not always on the player, you know?
We see pro players.
We see pro players mess up builds all the time, you know? And, I mean, he's going Bombers next, so that's nice.
Yeah.
But the Thornmail's a little bit...
I think a lot of times, this happens too with... you know, we see people, especially on mages and stuff as well, complete, you know, Morel and Omicron. I think it's just they get sort of fooled into seeing the other team has a lot of champions that have healing capabilities, right? Like, they see the Fiora, which has a lot of healing, big problem right now. Divine Sunder is going to provide healing, Misfortune Eclipse, Seraphine healing. So lots of healing on the other team, and so they feel like, okay, well, I might as well get the upgraded Grievous move because it's better than the regular, just the Bramble Vest. So
this is how it's a learning experience, you know, because that is a very, you know, common way of thinking about the game.
Sure.
And it's not quite wrong, but it's not quite flushed out completely as an idea.
Yeah.
So on the right track there, definitely though, but just not very good. Vex. Ooh, this is going to be interesting because Vex can't kill the Fiora at all.
Yeah.
But she can slow her down, which is going to be the important part about this.
Well, and can kind of like clear the wave a little bit as well. Can even actually use the Everfrost to keep the wave from reaching under the turret so she can't get dove, and then just take her time, wait for the Q to
now there is
come off.
So there was a counter push in mid by Monticello, and now Rel may be picked here. Just getting absolutely shredded by that Diana. Poppy ult will hit the Diana out of the fight, and that Pantheon is dead already.
Oh,
they gotta kill this Fiora before he can kill Cog. And CC chained amazing Malphite ultimate. There we go. That's that Thornmail coming into work. Not able to get that riposte off. And that's a massive shutdown. I'm not sure who it went to. I hope it went to the Kog'Maw. But ooh, this Vex.
Vex is dead.
Almost perfect combo by the Diana, and procs the Poppy W passive and the Kog'Maw Mortal Shield though at the same time with that Diana kill.
And actually, although the fight was looking good at the beginning for Monticello, especially with that early pick on the Fiora, I actually think they come out worse. You see a lot of low health bars forcing them to go back to the fountain to heal. And so this should allow, you know, Forest Park to actually get the push mid, maybe even rotate bot. We see the Diana right now, bot side pushing in. And they're going to get a nice back timing here. To reset. Dragon not up on the map yet for a little bit. I believe that was just taken, but...
a minute 50 on the Dragon. And Monticello did importantly get a Dragon, so it slows down that soul for Park Forest. Now that Fiora going into that Death Stance third, has that Ravenous Hydra, has that Gore Drinker already. So very strong on that Fiora. Split pushing is amazingly strong. Team fighting is getting there. We'll need the Death Stance before they can really be a team fighting menace, because that 30% damage reduction from physical and magical is insanely good. This Kog'Maw is on a line. Kog'Maw's 3 items.
Yeah, 3 item Kog'Maw, very
3 item at 23 minutes.
You saw how quickly it shredded the Fiora after that CC chain. You know, that's all you need. And Fiora right now, okay, she did just pick up the chain vest, which will help. But before, no armor, just a lot of healing. And if you chain CC, she'll die pretty quick.
Looking for a pick on the Seraphine. Does get the hit into the wall. Rel with that CC combo in. Giving it off to the Kog'Maw. Very intelligent,
nice.
Very smart. Great job out of Monticello finding that pick. They are still down 4,000 gold, though. And most of that gold difference will be in the top lane, as that Fiora is absolutely massive this game.
Yeah. And I kind of want to draw attention to this Diana as well. 221 farm, currently the highest farm in the entire game. Fiora is just now going to surpass her, but this top and jungle farm
Diana was
very
able to
well.
farm, yeah.
Yeah, and
She was behind the Poppy by a couple of camps, but when Poppy really was just team fighting, Diana went back into the jungle and just head down and farmed, and that's what Diana likes to do. Diana wants to get to this 3-item point she's at right now, and then she wants to really fight now.
yeah, aggressive items too. We see the Nafter's Tooth on the Diana, so
Yeah, it's common because it helps you clear the jungle so much faster. You usually go at first, and she already gets attacks built into her kit, so it's very nice to proc that 3-hit passive.
very powerful as well. And will shred turrets.
Now, looking for a pick on that Diana. She should be able to zone his, but perfect CC layering. The Misfortune ultimate, no other CC will not do much. Would have wanted them to hold it. And now Malphite, all he can do, he's very intelligently clearing the wave, so Fiora can't take a Nexus turret. But nothing Malphite can do about actually stopping the Fiora from taking in-hit.
Yeah.
Actually, is slowing it down a significant amount, and
Oh, and
gets
the
that
Vex's here.
ultimate. Now Riposte comes out amazingly. That is a massive Gore Drinker, and that Fiora ultimate healing. And Vex has that stopwatch to slow it down, but Pantheon's in the base too. I'm not sure what's happening here.
This might be
As
a bit
now-
of a overcommit.
Yeah, Rel got slowed by the Misfortune E, and her Flash W got delayed by it. That's really unfortunate. Now Monticello should go Baron.
Yeah, they can definitely threaten it here. Fiora,
Diana's just now respawning, and Fiora's dead for 30 seconds.
Yeah, so this is definitely a great opportunity. They are going to be slowed, constantly harassed on their walk in. But definitely can start it and look for a turn. I don't think they should finish here unless it's like very, very secured. Actually, just going to drop a ward and back up. I'm not a huge fan of this. You have to do something right now. You got to use these windows when you're able to find these picks to get something done. I know there's not, other than the Baron, there's not a whole ton on the map to do, but at least, we see Vex pushing the wave out top. I guess that's why they don't really want to start it. They're worried about, they start Baron.
Ooh, there's the Baron start from Park Forest.
Yeah.
They have all their members alive. Fiora's looking to TP, and that's why she's sitting in the base there. So a little bit of a bait Baron because they want this fight here, because they're going to want to turn around with Seraphine and Misfortune ultimate and the Fiora TP on top of that.
I actually think they want to try and bait the Vex to TP in, and the Fiora's going to TP top.
Ooh, that could also be. I think that top was a little bit far, but no Baron contest. Just not able to get there in time. So unfortunate by Monticello.
Yeah.
So that's just Baron over to the side of
Forest Park.
Forest Park. Thank you.
Gonna try and siege his mid turret. Should be able to get it. Oh,
It's going to be tough to siege against that Baron buff, though.
yeah.
Because Baron buff does give you so many stats.
Well, and I was gonna say it is kind of difficult to walk in against the Sarah Misfortune. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Because you can be slowed, and then it's an easy lockdown from Seraphine with her ultimate, and then the Misfortune ult is gonna do massive damage over the top. So, bit rough. Kog'Maw though.
Ooh. Good force out of the Diana flash. Poppy flashing in, trying to get that Q slow, but gets stunned by the Pantheon and is able to make it down time. This Pantheon build is interesting, not something I've seen, but it seems to be working. He is on the winning team, up by 4,000.
I don't know if that's necessarily because of the Pantheon, though. But we'll have to see. Maybe he will have his
It's
value
because of the
later
Pantheon.
on.
As we see him pick up another longsword, and now we got to look at these focal points. It's the Kog'Maw versus Fiora. Who can carry more? That's what it's going to come down to.
Yeah.
Can the Kog'Maw do more, or can the Fiora do more?
But I think the macro is definitely going to come in play here. The Fiora
Oh, yeah, most definitely.
is going to be hard to stop. If they can catch, Monticello in a bad position, prevent the backs from happening, Fiora can just solo and, no sole person from Monticello can defend against this Fiora right now. 3 items strong. Even has the stopwatch in her inventory.
Yeah.
If she needs to
it's
immune
a
something. Like
really
that.
smart pickup,
Yeah.
which
If
sometimes
you
I
immune
even
the Malphite
overlook.
ult, you're just...
Yeah.
Can anyone kill you? I mean, it's going to be really, really difficult.
I mean, she can still be CC locked by Rel and
Sure.
Poppy and Vex.
Yeah.
But besides that, no one can really do much.
But with the Merc Treads, I mean, the Vex and Poppy, CC is pretty quick. So you'd have to do some massive damage in that short time span. And Fiora just going to start working towards his bot turret now. I believe, actually, the cleave from the Tiamat on one of the minions actually hit the Malphite, so she had to back up there for a second to prevent... Oh,
Good Diana engage onto the Poppy and the Kog'Maw. Kog'Maw does kill the Diana, but gets Seraphine ulted in. That Pantheon will find that follow-up. And now Fiora going in there. Actually, no, sorry, that was not Fiora. Vex and Malphite were able to kill that...
Yeah, but I think this is just the end
That
here.
Diana,
The Pantheon can finish the Vex here, and now just Malphite to defend. No shot.
Great Misfortune Seraphine ultimate combo that we saw there. And the Diana was still able to get a kill. I mean, the Pantheon sort of carried that team fight. He did get like a triple kill there. So Pantheon, big W there.
Great pick. I think they should
Yep.
ban it. Too strong.
Yeah, I definitely
No counters.
no. What's the Pantheon was existed. Fiora absolutely monstrous play here. Fiora and Diana were absolutely the pinnacle of Point Park's. Sorry, Park Forest.
Forest Park.
Forest Park.
You almost got it.
I mean, you went there, so you should know it. Forest Park's win there, so definitely the big reasons there. And I think we're gonna take a bit of a break.
Yep, we're gonna take a quick break, but we're getting that three-game. We're getting that three-game series is delivering, and some great action already. We're going all the whole, the full distance here for this final game, and I'm definitely looking forward to it when we get back.
So make sure that you don't go anywhere because we are going to be right back. And welcome back to VHSL State Finals for League of Legends. In our last game, our Game 3, so this determines the best high school League of Legends team in the state of Virginia. We are sponsored by Go Army Virginia, and we are hosted and produced and performed by ODU Esports in the Monarch Esports Arena. Make sure you look at ODU Esports if you're looking to go into college, or we got a pretty good esports program if you're an esports player, maybe. Okay, and we have our draft starting. We have Monticello back on the blue side. There's the Fiora ban we saw. That was really a big reason why Forest Park was able to win on that red side. I mean, on the blue side last game was because of that Fiora pick.
Yeah.
Able to get a lot of free reign and really just a menace in that split pushing top lane. And on the side of Forest Park, that Volibear is kept off the table. Good Graves ban. So now both those jungles which were used, they've kept the Volibear off the table for the whole time of that Graves, which was used to beat them in the first game. So very intelligent bans there. Sion, interesting why they moved it to the first phase. They must be very scared of what the carrying Inter can play on the Sion. Maybe a Riven ban would have been better if they wanted to ban the top laner, but with Sandra Respect, so taking away two champions who we saw earlier in the series. So, intelligent bans, I would say, by the side of Forest Park, and now Misfortune. There we go. We see the Misfortune again. High priority on this champion. She is oh so strong with that ultimate and fairly safe laning phase too. Those E's and those arcane comments.
You know what the pick is here? Oh, it's gonna be maybe a Lucian Nami. Nami is up. Yeah, Nami is up. So yeah.
Okay, so I mean,
and
they may just go Rel again because Rel actually is fine here.
Yeah.
Into dashless Nami, so can bully out that Nami pretty well. I'm not sure what else they would pick. I would love to try to predict, but this is a whole nother meta which we've really been shown to.
I don't know about that.
Alistar would be very interesting because Alistar level 1 is very weak, and so Lucian and Nami can both take E level 1 and really bully out this Misfortune.
Yeah,
I'm very excited to see Lucian Nami because Scanning is one of the best players in terms of rank we have competing. So on that Lucian, which gives him a lot of power, a lot of leeway.
Yeah,
it's going to be interesting to see what he can do. And early Vex priority. Vex, it's a good pick. You
Yeah.
pick it early. You don't really need to pick it into Dash Champions because of how strong she is rotationally with their range of that ultimate. So I really like this Monticello draft so far. It's really it's coherent very much because it's Alistar into MF combo, into Vex combo.
Yeah.
And Victor on the other side is very coherent too. Victor and Lucian both fairly medium ranged carries. Victor has a little better scaling than Lucian, but Lucian can be used as say a pinpoint or a levy into that late game, where you want the Lucian to be strong early and really pass off that lead to Victor as best as he can. Now we see Shen Poppy bans out of the side of Forest Park, and then a Riven, and
I expect another Bruiser ban probably trying to
like
target
Set, maybe.
carrying Inter. Yeah, maybe Set or
I wouldn't expect a jungle ban because there's a lot to
probably not.
ban from this jungler. I think they role swapped.
What do you mean?
Was Scanning and Runner 90 in the opposite places last game?
No, I don't think so. They're probably not in correct like LCS draft order or whatever.
Potentially, yeah.
I was gonna
Zach pick up.
Zach.
So
Okay.
Zach is an interesting pick here because he's a good champion. He just needs protection early game because his early game is very weak. He doesn't have a lot of stats. He's a tank who has damage, but he just needs levels. He needs levels and he needs that mythic item. But after that, he's very strong. So they need to just sort of protect him early. And now going for this Ornn pickup here, very good. Doesn't need to do a lot on that Ornn. It's a lot of this ultimate tool and just waiting, getting that level 14, giving those ornaments to his teammates. So not much needed to do out of this Ornn pick, and it's very coherent with the rest of this composition. It's all about pressing R on the same target on just the biggest cluster of people, and Jarvan fits that description. This is
Perfect,
a
yeah.
amazing draft.
Yeah, I like it a lot.
Monticello.
And
Absolutely coherent all the way through.
yep.
The only little hiccup is the Alistar. Would have been better with Nautilus or Leona, but that's a little bit picky choosy.
Yeah.
So I love this draft by Monticello. Amazing adaptation, and we're gonna have to see. There's got to be a lot of disruption here, from the side of Forest Park. A big disruptor needs to be
Last
picked here.
pick is going to be pretty crucial. The Yone. Okay.
Okay.
That is very interesting. Like I said, I was expecting them to go for something carry for this top laner, right? We've seen very much, these two teams. We've seen Monticello fit more into the weak side, playing more weak side top, and then having, FPS feeling more comfortable on.
I would have expected
Hard
like
carry.
a Darius or a Camille.
I feel like Darius is actually a pretty good pick here.
Darius would have been good besides the Jarvan MF combo. Everything else, Darius does well too, except those two champions.
Yeah. And something that is important to know early on in this draft is actually Nami has been banned out by Monticello for every game up until this one. So I was a little surprised to see the Scion instead of the Nami.
Because they were banning Ezreal, Yumi, Nami
Yeah.
in the first rotation. I'm glad they dropped the Ezreal ban.
Yeah, that didn't make any sense.
But the Nami ban would have made a little. I mean, they're afraid of the Scion, which is fair because Scion is a bit of how we could say a menace right now. Because he goes Hullbreaker, he gets the Swiftest, he goes Sunfire Aegis. He's hard to kill and he does a lot of damage.
Yep.
For not a lot of reason.
Or counteroffer.
Okay.
You go Prowling.
Counteroffer?
You go Prowler's Claw on Scion. Okay.
Okay.
And then you run it down. Go 1-18 and still win the game.
So I'm soul casting now because that was an idea. So let's not do Prowler's Claw Scion because in the competitive scene.
Look, man, his name is the Carrying Inter, okay? I'm sure he takes a lot of inspiration from the Baus. You already know.
Yeah, I mean, Baus is getting target nerf next patch.
He is.
Scion passive is doing half damage to turrets now.
Yep.
Which is
It's too OP.
so funny to me. That is hilarious that they're nerfing one player basically. So the draft from Forest Park. I'm just gonna let you say the name. I keep messing it up. If they get ahead, they'll win. That's basically how the draft works. Monticello, if they're even or ahead, then they win. These are the most coherent comps we've had so far. I'm very happy. These are both straightforward. Forest Park's about winning individually, and Monticello's about playing together. So we do have that abstract view of the game, which I like for Monticello. Because Monticello has been the team, they've had the coach come in. He's talking to all the players, player-coach discussion. I mean, Forest Park could also be doing that. We don't know. They're playing virtually, so we can only talk about what we know.
Yep.
And just the adaptation which Monticello has taken in some of their other matches. We've seen them. They're a very intelligent team when it comes to this, and they adapt very well. We saw it in semifinals, and we saw it now in finals. And, well, I really hope that they take it here because this draft looks a lot better from them.
Yeah, and I expect to see
to Forest Park.
Yeah, I was gonna say I expect to see again like heavy fighting around the spot lane. Like you were mentioning, this Lucian Nami can be very, very deadly if it gets out of hand, especially early on. Alistar pretty weak, so I expect to see junglers paying trips, down to the spot lane quite a bit, and probably leave top lane on an island again. Is what I expect.
If top lane left on an island, this Yone is going up a ton because Yone has a lot more power to dive compared to Fiora because of that E. You get that true damage back. You get guaranteed you're going to go back there in 5 seconds. So this Yone is a lot more of a menace than this Fiora in terms of creating that pressure. Now, early game, Ornn does win this matchup.
Yeah.
So we're going to have to look out for that. But besides that, Zach gets a pretty free jungle.
Yeah, probably not going to see too much. Although maybe around like level 6 for Vex, we could see them look to try and push and invade a little. I mean, the Victors.
Besides that, Zach gets to farm pretty easily. J4 can sort of invade him at like level 4.
Yeah.
Level 3. J4 can just go kill 3 camps, be level 3, and stay level 3 for 5 minutes and not really care.
Yeah.
He's the same champion basically. He is just picked really to gank and to CC, but he does that very well. And he's one of the best jungle champions at. You want pure ganking? Jarvan.
Yeah.
He's going to go in, he's going to EQ, he's going to knock someone up, and then he's got a swell.
And we've seen him be very high priority recently in the highest, levels of play just because of how
We see Jarvan Prio and just picked in all elos right now.
Yeah.
Because he's easy to play. He has a set play style, which he's good at.
Yep.
He has carry potential. And overall, he's just a good champion. Now, he's good against other champions, which are good, which is the big thing. He's good against dashless champions, which there's not. I mean, Nami's dashless, Victor's dashless, Zac effectively is dashless.
Yeah. We are coming off of
Effectively,
a Jinx Xayah meta as well, both dashless champions. So
Yeah, Jinx Zeri.
well, a little bit of Zeri here and there.
Yeah, Zeri when she was introduced in the game. Yeah.
She did get nerfed before the most recent patch, so she got hit in 12.7.
Yep.
12.8 is the big MSI patch that just came out. So expect to see quite a bit of
We are just a couple days past that MSI patch. Not mid-season patch, but MSI patch. And now we see this early level 1 again from Arc Forest.
They don't actually walk in for any vision though. Kind of just okay. They are gonna put the ward.
Got the lane.
Yeah. Which is interesting because you're not gonna see a cheese from Alistar level 1. But yeah, but you'd have to literally walk into the brush.
Yeah.
Which you're never gonna flash level 1 as Alistar to look for like a knockout.
Not with a misfortune.
No.
Especially since misfortune will have E. So we got to talk about Alistar because we've talked about him in draft a lot.
Yeah.
Alistar is one of the most useless supports level 1. But level 2 he's insanely strong. In level 3 he's insanely strong.
Yeah.
So the big difficulty they have is getting past the level 1. Because after that he's a bit safer. Now he can't really get out, so if he gets slow chained by this Lucian Nami, then he's forced to go in. And Lucian is that's very aggressive by Park Forest.
Forest Park.
Thank you. Forest Park. Ignite Lucian and Electrocute Nami.
Yeah, I was expecting the Electrocute Nami, but
Not expecting the Ignite Lucian.
yeah, I was expecting to see. I mean, I wouldn't hate like exhaust on Lucian and ignite on Nami, but typically you don't see the ignite on the carry just because.
Now it just means they're looking for more. I mean, they'll have more kill potential
Yeah.
with the Ignite on the Lucian compared to the Nami, just because of the range they'll be in, because Nami will be playing a lot more safer than the Lucian. Now they are going to push level 2 here, so they're going to Lucian get E and Q, and then Nami can get EW.
Yeah. I think they also, maybe the reasoning for taking Ignite on the Lucian is they don't want to accidentally have the Nami get the gold, for the kill.
Yeah, that's probably a like the second reason. Okay, now we see the Lucian dashing with that Nami. It's doing so much damage.
Yeah.
Ignited one more out of kills, but Alistar still had flash, so that probably would not have happened.
And not sure why he's even up that far. Like, even if you have to drop XP on, like, one minion, there's no reason.
He's down a level. He can't be up that far.
Yeah. Gonna go forward again. You
Great
can
trade
see
by
that
the
damage.
Lucian
Gonna
there.
look for the flash. That's a
Ooh.
big mistake from
Very
the Lucian.
Very big misclick there. Wasn't sure about his auto attack range and just misjudged it. Now J4 is actually heading down to the spot lane, and this ward and Tribush has died. Ooh,
Yeah,
and Alistar
gonna
with
see
the
the
flash
engage.
WQ. Good side angle there, but Jarvan's a little bit slow to this play. Alistar may die before then. Lucian gets the first blood, but that Jarvan will get the follow-up kill on the Lucian. Now Jarvan gets the Nami kill too.
Yeah.
So double kill for Jarvan, but the Lucian gets that first blood.
So overall, I mean, considering they were probably both dead anyways, not the worst outcome.
Overall, both teams should be happy
Yeah.
because now there's a gold lead for Park Forest.
Forest Park.
Forest Park. Because this Lucian got 400 gold and is still leading in.
What's going
on?
Why?
I'm not sure why Jarvan was. Why was Jarvan walking? I don't think he knew where Zac was.
Yeah, but even still, why is he walking that way? Like up toward past the turret?
Or maybe he was going. No.
That was very strange. Either way, he doesn't die. He does have to burn everything. His flash included.
And we see this is a good top lane trade out by this Yone, able to just E back there. This is why Yone is so good early here. Now Jarvan.
Yeah. No, actually, something I will be interested to see in this top matchup. I know, obviously, Ornn, good sleeper, kind of just a scaling pick, gonna try and,
I mean, you
absorb.
do not underestimate Ornn damage in a lane. Ornn wins this lane. Now, opting to play it safe is very smart because this Yone has proven himself as a very strong player here. Now, linking out by the Jarvan, the Lucian does get caught. Good bubble by the Nami. Lets the Lucian go 1-for-1. Another. This is good for Forest Park.
Yes. It is.
Because this Lucian's going left one and Misfortune's not getting a kill.
Yeah.
So now it's a 2-2 Lucian versus a 3-0 Jarvan. And the Lucian doesn't have to lane against the 3-0.
Yeah.
He's got to lane against the 0-1-3 Tear of the Goddess double longsword.
Yeah, and Jarvan building Chem Tank as well, so...
I'm not sure about this Jarvan build because it's Chem Tank with Conqueror.
Yeah.
We would have preferred Gorge Drinker, just in general. Now, I do like the Chem Tank first strike build, but I think in this game where there's a little bit more onus on them to perform later into the game, that I think you have to go the Gorge Drinker Conqueror build.
Yeah, well, I know you're not much of an LCS enjoyer, Rob, but we have actually seen a few Jarvans in the jungle, including Inspired, take actually Spellbook if they go the tank build, which is pretty interesting.
So Spellbook is also another very strong summoner spell, especially when a champion like Jarvan, who is just a utility pot.
Yeah. Alistar doesn't actually need to back here unless he wants to try and pick up an item, but I don't think he has any gold. He should be able to sustain just fine Jarvan here for the game.
Ooh, if he was level 6, that's a kill there.
Yeah, slow does dissuade them though for going for that play. Spot lane should be just fine. I was gonna say something that I would be interested to see. I'm not sure if we can get our production team to click on the Ornn when we pan back up there at some point, but I do want to see what abilities he's maxing first, because if he's
going Q max, it would make a lot of sense because it can help you.
It would. It is much safer and good for farming, but if you go the W max route against a Yone, it's a lot harder for him to go for these dives, because I actually didn't realize this, but the W max is typically what Ornns take when they're playing a matchup where, you know, they get pushed in a lot and then roamed on, because you can clear wave very quickly with Ornn. You know, other than Sion, Ornn probably is the... Actually, it's probably pretty close, because Sion obviously is the WQ, and then, you know, like hit the shield at the top as well to clear the entire wave, particularly early on.
So when it comes to late mode, top Gragas is the best early.
Gragas is also...
Yeah, Gragas is the best at level 3 accurate. But Ornn is up there. Q does...
Oh, we're going to see the all-in here.
Play here. Good Ornn out on the ulting Yone. He will be taken out here. Good knock up there. And there we go. Jarvan gets the kill, importantly. Trying to get all that gold onto that one Jarvan, that one player.
Yeah.
I think it's a smart play to just... I mean, Jarvan just gets to run up the map now. He can go wherever he wants, do whatever he wants. Vex and Victor trades, and there's the Victor ultimate out. No flash follow-up. Just gotta get the kill. Now we see Zac did get the Dragon. So here we see the Zac is going to come into play somehow. Just up and farm. Hemtech on the Jarvan.
Yep. Very early Mythic, 7 minutes.
Yeah.
On this Mythic item for Jarvan, and you have to really be careful now as bot lane. You can get caught out quite easily with the movement speed from Chem Tank. And of course, once he gets on top, it's really slow.
Zac ganked in mid from behind the Raptor Pit. The minions died, and he wasn't able to get the pullback.
Nice flash as well.
Victor killed the wave.
Yeah.
With the E, and Zac couldn't get the auto onto the minion. That is just unfortunate, and just a little bit of miscommunication, which is bound to happen.
Yep.
I'm really looking at this top matchup now, because Ornn's on the way to the Mythic, very close to it. 950 gold left total to buy. Not sure how much he has in his pockets right now. Interesting sounds we hear from the stage coming outside. We are on a delay ourselves, so we hear something's happening, but we don't know until about 11.5 minutes. But until then, what else have you noticed about this game? What's going on in the mind of Jeremy Imperial Iber?
So not a whole lot standing out for me. I will say the fact that this Lucian Nami, yes, you know, the Lucian was able to at least get those kills, but I think that's like best case scenario for them. I still think, you know, overall these plays bot lane have been favoring them, even though the Misfortune has, you know, she hasn't really dropped too much farm. The Alistar is going to go in pretty early, not level 6 yet. He's going to die very quick, forced to flash out with the heal.
Amazing Nami ultimate stopping that that Jarvan
no
EQ, but ooh. Yeah, that's very unfortunate for the Lucian. Giving it over to the Misfortune. Smart by the Jarvan there.
Very nice.
Now, that was a good intro by the Nami wave, but just too low HP for the Misfortune.
Yeah.
And that will be the double kill for the side of Monticello.
Yeah, and that Chem Tank slow, man, you can't underestimate it. As soon as the Jarvan gets on top of the Lucian, you know, there's no hope running away, even with his dash. I mean, he was... Yeah, and red buff as well. So turbo slowed there in the bot lane. And sort of what I was basically alluding to before we got to that is, yes, you know, Misfortune early on, you know, it sucks that she did die in those plays and, you know, probably dropped some farm. But the Lucian not able to really secure any meaningful advantage here in the bot lane. And this is kind of their, you know, win condition. Like we were mentioning, if they don't get ahead early in these lanes, you know, they're going to struggle in the later stages of this game. And Yone, you know, he does have about a 20 CS lead right now, but down, you know, the Ornn was able to, and the Jarvan were able to, you know, get a kill on him to stem some of that pressure. And the Lucian Nami, even in CS, and not really ahead in kills or gold at all, you know. And also important to note, this Misfortune build much cheaper than what Lucian likes to go for. You know, typically we're going to see a Gale Force into probably, I mean, it kind of just depends. You know, I personally like Essence still on Lucian. He does go through mana pretty quickly. But some players, you know, opt to go for something even more aggressive. I think that it's a little difficult when you're building Lucian, especially since Serelda's is so good on him, but you really don't want to go Serelda's too early because then your Infinity Edge comes online much later. So probably we might even see a Collector instead of an Essence Reaver, but of course you will.
We're going to see a skirmish here now. The Zac overstaying good interrupt there, but Zac is going for Misfortune as Jarvan is going for the Lucian, so we may see a trade of ADCs there, but Misfortune, great flash away from the Zac. Zac not able to get that kill yet, and he doesn't have quite enough damage anyway. Now Victor does find that cleanup on the Misfortune, and the Zac ult will knock the Jarvan into the Victor W. The Vex ult misses. That Victor's trying to get that kill on the Jarvan, but now Vex is here, gets the fear on the Victor, saves her Jarvan, but that may not be enough because Alistar ult is now worn out. Zac had another jump back up. Alistar going back in on the Victor. Victor's almost out of mana. Gets that W down. One more auto left. And the Alistar survives. Gets that passive healing. Now Jarvan's got to look to come back in. He does have enough mana for another EQ. Vex is looking for something here, but Zac has popped into passive. Yone has teleport. Do we see a teleport? I don't think it will, just because of where Yone is on the map and no teleport. And that is a 7-0-3 Jarvan out at the side of Monticello.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that was a fight and a half.
Oh, but it's not done yet.
And it's not done yet, as the Vex will get Gale Forced on by Lucian, and the shutdown goes to Lucian. Wow, 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 wow.
Yeah.
So the first fight was won by the school you went to.
Forest Park.
Forest Park. I would have said Park first again.
Wait,
we have an Arnold on the
Yone.
Yone.
Oh, nice ult to escape.
Sorry,
Taking a lot of damage from the ground.
Monticello did win.
Yeah,
The Lucian kill at the end, I think, equalizes it. Because it's a shutdown.
Okay. But, well, onto the Vex. The Vex shutdown not nearly as big as it was. Probably just like 150 gold shutdown.
Yeah, but it's still... I mean,
yeah, still impactful for sure. Definitely good to get the gold on the Lucian. Yep. Was able to complete his Gale Force. We're going to see another engage bot side.
Engage here. No Jarvan ultimate quite yet available. Coming up any second now. There we go. Yeah. Good Jarvan ultimate. Zac is trying to zone away this backline, but Jarvan is just so strong.
Yep. Red Smite ticking away on that Lucian.
Yeah, and now look at what Jarvan's building now.
Yeah.
He's going for Anathemas.
Yep.
Which is an absolutely amazing build.
Very gold efficient.
Yep. Because he's got multiple options to put it on. You can put it on Victor, you can put it on the Lucian too.
I actually really like in these styles of compositions when you have something like, you know, a very top like Yone, right?
Wait, Vex is going to kill this Victor. Nope, gets stuck by the gravity well. Just needs one more ability,
careful.
But is forced to flash away from the Victor ultimate.
Yeah.
Is now stuck here, looking for an ultimate back. It did not land. And now, just barely that Leandri's. Don't know why I meant that.
I'm a little surprised by that. I don't know why she was walking so far up. You know, her team had just gotten Dragon. Didn't really need to chase that. Didn't see where Zac was on the map either. So that could have been, you know, I mean,
it's still fine.
Anyways. Yeah, they do get the trade back.
Yep.
The Jarvan.
This Jarvan is absolutely massive.
Yeah.
But doesn't feel like a 10-0-3 Jarvan. He is building tank. Yeah. He'll have 2 items on back. Zac is going for this Heaven Shroud, which is not something we've seen yet. I don't know if you've ever seen this item built ever since it was released.
Definitely not on Zac.
It did get nerfed as soon as it came out. Yeah. I see the thought process here.
Looking for another play bot side.
This Alistar got the cut off.
So nice.
And that Lucian's does almost one-shot completely.
Oh, he doesn't die,
though. It out. Zac is here to disrupt, but Zac will probably fall. I'm not sure if they have cooldowns back up to chase, and it doesn't look like it. There's the Jarvan ultimate, but Jarvan's going to get shut down by the Lucian. That's so risky, and the Lucian survives. Lucian was getting hit by the Misfortune E, but will not die to it. That Jarvan was
That was not worth it. For
No, that
Monticello.
was especially since it went to that Lucian too.
Yeah. That's going to be incredible acceleration. I expect on his next back, he might even be able to just purchase a whole
Yone
depending on what he
may
goes
just
for.
be dead here, but Ornn does barely miss the E. Vex has amazing fighting here and good Ornn ultimate. Now he's got to stop the Yone here from taking the blast gun. Great job. Get the shutdown. That was a farm bounty too.
Yeah. Which is kind of crazy to think about because the Ornn is perfectly happy with the way this lane is going.
This Victor is going looking for the kill on the Vex, but the Ornn is here.
Oh,
but that single hit hits the Vex and it will kill. But this Victor will, I think, will just die here. Yep, there's the Vex ultimate ult 2. He took the blast gun so he can't kill the Vex in transit.
Yep.
Great job out of this Monticello team. They've been playing so coherently.
Yeah, other than that botched bot side.
I like this this change up by the Jarvan.
Over to Titanic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that a lot as well.
I like it a lot more than Anthemo. Anthemo's gold efficient, but I think he needs more.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Titanic is solid here on Jarvan. I will say I don't really think, you know, the build matters too much on the Jarvan, to be completely honest with you. As long as he's doing what he's supposed to.
He's ahead, which means he's stronger than it. I mean, Jarvan doesn't really care about what items as long as he has more. Now we see an Alistar combo with the Jarvan, and that's going to be a double kill. Zac is here to sort of.
Oh, Lucian gets out again.
Yeah, Lucian is burning the Red Smite, but will not die to it. Now it's fortunate with the Flash E. Jarvan will get the kill for the flag, I think, and that's going to be a kill for the MF on the Zac.
So get it right back.
Absolutely in the driver's position, but only up 300 gold.
Yeah. And that's mainly just the CS difference that we're seeing in mid and top, but
also like that mid turret's fallen, all the plates on the top is gone too. Because Yone is strong, but the Ornn's not behind it. Now Ornn is gonna lose out on this fight because he did miss that first W.
That was a miscue though, so
yeah.
Not gonna get the
not gonna get that tornado.
Yeah.
Now I gotta say this Lucian going for the Serpent's Fang.
Pretty interesting. I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know if he's aware that Serpent's Fang, even against teams that have a lot of shields, you know, it's still probably not an item I'd build on Lucian.
Serpent's Fang and Grievous Wounds built in the same idea that you don't really need to build it if you can build enough damage.
Yeah.
And I think that you just build it.
Yeah.
Serpent's Fang, yes, it does give you 80, it gives you lethality. It crits better. You really want crit on Lucian because you want to be getting...
You've already built Gale Force.
So, yeah, your wasted stats on Gale Force. I mean, if you go Grudge next, it makes some sense.
Oh, decent
good Ornn ultimate there. Really good flash E by him, keeping that Yone stunned up.
Yep.
But the Zac, not able to get over in time. That shield got melted by that Jarvan. Jarvan absolutely menace in this game. And, well...
Dragon is up
Monticello's such a commanding position. Lucian is...
Oh, Victor's caught. He's
Victor
going to have to
used
flash. Yeah. Oh, and Jarvan's going in.
That's just a dead Victor. Good flash away from Zac. Will not get stuck in the Victor W. And great IQ back through. Now flashing for the Zac.
Should just barely get
out.
His
passive gets popped. Yeah, his passive got popped.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I think you just have to give this Dragon if you're Forest Park here. There's no way you can fight for this.
Yeah, Ornn TP'd. Yone is dead. Zac has no passive. They just got... All they can do is farm. Maybe...
Oh.
I don't think they go for it either.
Guess what Ornn was doing? We're seeing a frozen part on the Ornn.
Amazing frozen part angle.
Yes, very good.
What Monticello wants to do is stop this Yone.
Yep.
And Frozen Heart does that exactly because Yone scales his W and his Q both scale with attack speed.
Yeah.
So you want to stop that. Yone is so influenced on his attack speed. So this is a great purchase. Lucian also is an attack speed based champion. Zac and Victor doesn't affect as much, but also it's a great step to have on Ornn. Ornn is 13, so he has his self ornament already. Now we see a bit of a skirmish there, but the big misfortune ultimate going to basically take down that Zac, getting away with just a sliver of HP. They did not get the Rift Arrow though.
Lucian?
Lucian dashing should be safe. The Ornn 2 ultimate actually came out. I'm surprised he was standing on Victor W for a long time. And the Zac will make it out. They just are protecting this Eye of the Herald, and it's going to disappear any moment now. Yep, there it goes.
I didn't actually see if he did, but you can actually immune the Victor W stun with the Ornn W, because it's not like how long you stand in it. You can immune the timing, and then you're fine to stand in it. So
yeah, Victor W is a stacking effect.
Yeah. Yeah, but you can still immune it with Orange W.
Yes, but then he would have missed ultimate too.
Oh.
Yep.
Never mind then.
I'm surprised he didn't get stunned before he got ultimate too.
Yeah.
Just the timing on Victor W. Now, I mean... Unfortunately, we see the excitement before the actual gameplay happen. This is now hard because we see the celebration.
Yeah, which is crazy to think. I mean,
But the game's not over.
Monticello in a good position right now for sure, up about 2,000 gold here, but
I mean, this Jarvan is just so far ahead of everyone.
he is, yeah.
Like,
14 and 1.
if we can pull up the goal to see what Jarvan is compared to the rest of the map, that would be great. Unfortunately, we're not able to get the gold graphs up. Yeah, this has been a long day. Production is production.
Oh, we're gonna see the engage in mid lane though. This
Oh,
might be the
big
fight they're
Orange
looking
ultimate,
for.
hitting up, knocking up 3. Nami did flash it. Nami wave stops him. Misfortune off of that. Jarvan is so
Jarvan
fed.
is so fed.
Just one-shotting that Lucian and the Nami Servant's Ring is not going to do anything to him at this point.
Nice interrupt
He's
on
so
the Zag.
strong. He's got like 280 maybe. He's got a ton of 80. And his Yone, they try to go for this Yone play, try to play around him. It's not going to work.
Yeah, they're gonna move to Baron though here, and they might even collapse on the Yone. He's walking down. Okay, he should be able. He should just walk out and try. Is gonna hit the scribe room on the way out, but I mean, they can't do anything to stop this. It's just a free Baron here for Monticello, and it's gonna allow them to definitely get some good push. Oh, we're gonna see the TP in. Looks like we might have the commit. This might be the final fight here for Forest Park Ice Cream.
Because maybe the best chance of Forest Park, you know? Maybe they have a second item though. Is getting a lot of poke over this wall though, but Jarvan is just so tanky, not able to get that kill. And now we're gonna see probably a reset in the straight of the Baron push.
Yep.
This may be throwing out second on the Orange here, which is fine. He went first, so he still has damage. And just reducing the healing on the Yone to 60% may just straight up be worth it.
Yep.
That's yet to be seen. But going to the Frozen Heart next, and now, yeah, going to give that Jarvan the Mythic first. Now, Jarvan has upgraded Turbo Chem Tank,
Yep.
Titanic Hydra, Death
Death
Stance.
Stance. Yeah, he's unkillable.
He's unkillable.
And stopwatch, just in case.
Yep. This Jarvan is.
Oh, he has Elixir
so
of Iron.
strong.
Oh no, that's Chemtank. Never mind. I forgot. New animation.
He gives him the.
Oh, gonna
He's
engage
going
straight on the
right
Victor. And he's dead.
Victor does not have flash, does not have any stasis effects. He is dead, and Alistar now flashing in. And, ooh, it's interrupting the teleport from that Drone. Orange should win this 1v1 if he gets that skill off, but going
gosh,
in with the
Jarvan
EQ
going
off the
forward.
bubble, and then Nami gets one shot by the Misfortune ultimate. Misfortune also killed the Zac and Ornn and Yone fighting, and there we go.
The Ornn wins
Like
the
I said,
1v1.
this 1v1, it's winning by the Ornn, but Ornn wins this Yone 1v1, especially
Yep.
when the Yone is so far behind, not able to get that Infinity Edge, and this should be the end of the game.
Yeah.
That's a forfeit.
Yeah, we see the FF from Forest Park High.
Gameplay got rid of a lot of these variables and variants, which they sort of didn't really need. They simplified it, played a very simple game, and it just led them to victory.
Yeah.
Like game one, they played well.
Draft Canyon.
That was a Draft Canyon game 3. I'm not gonna lie. The preparation was there.
Yeah.
Absolutely. They executed their plan perfectly. They wanted to go bottom, and they did. They wanted to stop the Lucianami. They gave away the Lucianami.
Yep.
Knew that they were just going to go aggressive in the bot lane, and that Jarvan answered perfectly. Jarvan was there, and they're always in bot lane, always where he needed to be. Great stuff out of the rest of Monticello, setting up for that Jarvan gank, too.
Yeah, and I
That
mean,
Vex got active with him. That Ornn played the weak side very well. And that bot lane, that Alistar had so many setups in that Jarvan. That Alistar rail player was absolutely great in this series.
yeah, he did an fantastic job looking for those engages. And I was gonna say, you know, even with a few hiccups along the way, just there's no beating, you know, the better draft in that scenario, right?
Yeah.
It's just miles above. They had a great plan on how they wanted to execute, and they followed through.
They got ahead with a better draft, and there's not much you can do at that point.
Yep.
So, that is all for our thoughts, I think.
That's all we have for you from the casting
From
desk.
the casting
but we
desk.
are going to send it down to the stage
yeah,
to
trophy
present the final
But
trophies of the day.
I do have to say thank you, Barry, for this great year I've had casting with you. Unfortunately, we won't be able to see you next year.
Well, we'll see. We'll see.
Maybe.
Nothing is definite yet.
Nothing is definite, but in case I don't see you or don't cast with you again, it's been a great year. Loved working with you, and I wish you good luck in the future.
I appreciate that. I'm sure this is not the last you'll see of me.
I hope it's not, but for everyone else at home, from us, have a good night as we're going to send it to the trophy ceremony.